Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 205 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of April 1st, 2023. That's right, it's the April Fool's podcast. No, we didn't plan this. It's sort of, honestly, we didn't plan this. It just worked out like that. I had to skip a day. I had to skip a week. It pushed it back a week. Happened to land right on April 1st. And then all of Agilius' prophecies came true. He's here. That's Nicholas Wakefield. I also have Tyler, Aiden Jansen, and Hemlock with me. They're all on the podcast. That's a fireman, two horsemen, and a brakeman, but we will all be equal soon enough. I will get to that in the maintenance of way at the end of the show.
That comrade.
We are making another step towards an egalitarian society, not out of the love or the good of all mankind, but because it's really hard to get the three people that are supposed to be on this podcast. We'll get there. That's why this isn't airing when it's supposed to. If there's any auspices of, if there's any shroud we're going to hide behind, April Fools, it wasn't filmed on April 1st.
Duval! We are in Jacksonville, Florida, with the wonderful, beautiful exit ramp of Acosta Bridge.
I see another bridge.
I didn't want this.
There's a lot of bridges. Actually, is that a
Still a few.
cable-stayed pedestrian bridge between buildings?
I'm
Probably.
Sorry,
What
what is this
the-
camera?
This is the Acosta
it's-
Bridge exit on... Wait, this is on I-95. Oh, God.
Ew, I-95.
Anyway, we're now a car-centric podcast. We are going to proceed to dunk on the trains, because
I
that...
should full screen this podcast,
Because,
or this video.
Yeah,
Zooming in.
car good, train bad. This would have been funnier if it was actually coming out on April Fool's Day. Anyway, let's go over the derailments this week, and then, of course, we have our... a statement on the Class 1 Mantle responsibility, but also a little bonus that we will be continuing from here forward. First up was BNSF on the... So, sorry, that's on the 30th. I thought that was said the 20th for some reason. No, the first one was one that I was actually having trouble assigning. It was on a UP train. Yeah, it does say that now. I can read, apparently. So... NS is just going to get, a question mark, I guess.
It wasn't NS, by definition.
I know it was not NS. I realize that now. I reread the description.
SMH. He doesn't even read his own articles.
I don't remember this. Listen, do you see how many articles are in this document?
Exactly.
I spend 40 hours a week doing, things that aren't this show. And I spend too many of them also doing this show.
I love you, Alex.
Anyway, Union Pacific... Actually, no, they didn't crash, sorry. They burst into flames. They had a locomotive that was not the lead unit on a train, it was the second locomotive in. It just burst into flames. Awesome, videography by this guy. Also, the video broke. The video broke. Oh, man.
Just like my car.
Oh, wait. Show video. Turn it back on. I can turn it back on. Oh, man, this is old school Terminus podcast when we had the non-virtual railfan cams that would just break all the time. Anyway, we got a great video of that. That's under Union Pacific 323. 2 days later, CSX derailed a train full of trash in Ayer, Mass. Residents are saying they couldn't
closely
tell.
Reflects air.
I was going to say residents are saying they couldn't tell the difference. I have no idea why I want to dunk on Ayer, Mass. They didn't do anything to deserve that.
It's in Mass.
But it's just normal. What? Yeah. CP derailed a few cars in Franklin Park. Franklin Park, Illinois. Like, right into a parking lot, too. It almost looks like they were going to tip over and crush some cars, which might have been funny. That was on the 26th. The 27th, they did another thing, which is they derailed in North Dakota and spilled some hazardous materials. Oh, it was liquid asphalt. Nice. 31 cars of a 70-car train. As far as ratio goes, that's a lot of the train. I'm going to skip one and come back to it. The 29th, a Sacramento resident spotted a broken train track, which this is such a minor thing, but I put it in here anyway because it wasn't going to make a difference. It's just a video of a broken rail on UP track.
It happens.
It happens. Yeah.
Special.
BNSF on the 30th derailed and caught fire transporting ethanol. Honestly, this looks like it could have been another East Palestine. It just didn't turn into a humongous fireball. But the way the train bunched up and the tank cars and etc. It looks like it could have been real bad. It was not, thankfully, but it was ethanol and corn syrup, which is not as hilariously toxic as the stuff in East Palestine, but
that's just like breakfast.
Yeah. Also, a tornado messed with a train in Wynne, Arkansas. This is a CSX train on the 31st. Been a lot of tornadoes down there lately. Now, that's all those out of the way. Not NS, because I don't even know when they last did, but obviously no news out of KCS. KCS has about 2 weeks to live at this point, so we will be... This is their last... 2 weeks from when this episode was supposed to be recorded. This is their final episode being on the Class 1 Mantle of Responsibility. Next week, we will have CPKC. They will be sharing the burden, and I get the feeling that the Class 1 Mantle of Responsibility is going to be shifted around a lot. But to add to the excitement, we're also going to be picking the worst wreck of the week, and I think that goes to the UP train on the 27th of March, which was carrying iron ore, ran away down... What was it? Was it Cajon Pass?
No, it was the SEMA grade.
Okay.
Which is outside of Yermo on the aptly named SEMA sub.
Gotcha. And how fast did this train go?
The last ping was...
that wasn't me.
I believe 146 miles an hour.
For a second there.
Suck it, Mallard.
Yeah, I just want to go back to the one meme of people doing the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Yeah, I pinned that. I pinned that because it's so good.
With a load of iron ore.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Does anyone know when the love of God goes? When the Chivo takes the minutes to drive... No, that doesn't work. I remember
when the
reading
Chivo takes minutes to drive hours.
I know, I was gonna say,
it does work.
When the speed turns the hours to minutes. Come on.
No, you need to have hours at the end.
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't think it works.
I think
it makes me mad.
I think musically you can make it work. It doesn't fit 1-to-1, but you can make it work. You just need to fit a neat little triple in there.
The next set.
But is anyone not in agreement that this should be the accident of the week?
I forgot that this has happened. I was
be the accident of the century.
No, I think that goes to East Palestine.
How do you manage this? I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize this. I didn't really get the gist of what had happened until looking at it just now. What the hell? How do you manage this?
Isn't this not the first time this happened in this exact spot?
This is the
UP
third time.
Yeah.
Well,
no, it's the third time. Yeah, he's got it. There was the one. There was a runaway in 1980. Another
89?
one in 1990. No, it was 80.
Yeah,
it was like 80, 86. The only reason I know is because it had Centennial on the point of the train, and that Centennial is in Portola now.
Yeah.
And the one ran away, extra whatever, eat west. That was in the 80s. Then there was one in the 90s. And and then this one. Like
Was one of-
it is not like you would look at it from Google Maps and you say, yeah, this is probably like maybe not that scary of a grade. But it's like a terrifying grade. Like it is like 2.5% for like 40 miles.
was
It is
one
a
of
scary
them-
grade.
Yeah, clearly it's very scary when you get the GVOs to go 150 miles an hour.
Was one of them the one that like took out a row of houses and then also blew up a gas pipeline?
No, that was
that
Cajon Pass.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It would have been
the
really
last one away
funny.
on Cajon Pass was like 1997, I think, and that was a BNSF train.
We can
It would have
we
been.
we can change that.
It would have been
There
really funny
is
if there
Your
was
attention
as
to
well.
Terminus.
There is exterior. There are security exterior cams at the depot at Kelso, which means there is probably video of this thing doing 140 miles an hour.
Oh man, it should. I hope so.
Yeah, we're just gonna hear it fly by. It's like free bird.
God damn. All right, I'm putting all the class of mental responsibilities in the thing. So yeah, this means we're gonna have a shorter time for whatever. But I think having the little, there's no disagreement this week, and I can understand why. But I would like to have this be more of a dialogue than me listing off all of the wrecks that have happened in the past couple weeks. It's kind of boring for everyone, including myself. But Tyler, you and I have something in common on this 205th episode of this podcast.
Yeah, we both upgraded.
We got some upgrades, people. And
Upgrade.
you got like a whole new computer. I put a new graphics card in mine, and the thing that I didn't know was how much that poor graphics card was throttling and messing with everything. Every game that I used that graphics card would sort of, I don't know what the word is, but it would like lurch. It would like rubber
The
band.
1070?
No,
Or the
the
480?
the 480.
It was also just a really old card.
Yeah, but it's younger than the one that Gloria has, and that never did anything like that to me. It acts effing weird. And it did it in this computer, it did it in Gloria's. For the short time it was in there, it's actually was doing worse than the one that I gave her previously. Gave them previously. And, like, it's messed up. It's not good. It's broken. I want to pull it apart and re-thermal paste it and everything, but I stuck it in the spare computer for now because it needed a graphics card that worked. But
Although
yeah,
if I can't sell the one I do have, you might end up getting that.
okay, yeah, that'd be
You might
wonderful.
get the Uchi Gucci clapped out great one.
I will take a clapped out anything. To all fans or enemies of this podcast, whoever you may be, if you have spare computer parts that you're going to throw in the garbage, I don't care how old they are. I don't even care if they're broken. Just mail them to me. Just let me know. I'll tell you where to send them.
Electronic recycling firm has begun.
Yes. I mean, it has begun. It's been here. We're just going
Yeah.
to have a whole bunch of computers showing up at the door.
We have no space.
I'll find space.
No.
You wanted to pick up an extra table off the side of the road
It
like
was small
2
and
hours
cute.
ago.
It was small and cute. Okay.
It was
You can never
larger-
have too many tables
It
on
was
us.
larger than like a good sized stack of computers, I'll tell you that much.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Did you see
No,
it?
she's like, nuh-uh.
I saw a photo of it. You sent me a photo.
The photo didn't do it justice. It was small.
I saw it compared to the chairs that were still sitting there when we drove by. Listen, I have a podcast to do. Point is, my computers are smaller than your table. So, Tyler, what are you doing with your new computer? Because I'm making toll
New
rent.
computer,
Yeah.
new computer, very nice new computer. It's a Legion. It does renders, and what it can render. Give me
Your
a
mom.
second here. No,
Sorry, she's too big for that.
Hey Tyler, did you fix the render?
I have not gone back and redone that because what it's doing is it's messing with the how do I describe this?
It's not jiving with it.
Poor girl had
Will-
a iPad.
Will it
It
make
is decided that it wants to make smoke not do smoke things,
Ah,
which is I just need to mess with it.
will it
where's
make
my Earthless render?
cookies multiply faster?
The hope is it will make cookies faster.
Okay.
Tyler, when are you
This is
making?
the most recent one.
When are you making? When are you making a UP
Mommy.
Mountain? When are you gonna make UP 618?
He's
No,
never
can
gonna
you
make
not
it
distract
because
him
you asked him for it.
from the higher pursuits? And by higher pursuits, I mean 2 foot.
Tyler quit on 2-foot.
No, I'm
No, he just
There may
he
be
just
2 foot
posted a
in the
new
future.
render of Allna Center.
no. That was the old render.
No.
Actually.
Don't take this away from. I was on your side, Tyler.
Look, I'm gonna work on that in the future.
The hubris.
He is
Tyler,
in
have you ever
school.
fixed the door?
God, I have to fix the roof still.
I don't care. Just remove the door. I don't care if the door isn't there. I want Allna Center. You did the whole
Well, if you
interior.
ha-
Let me see it.
I think if you place it down, it would crash trains.
No, it worked.
You place it
worked.
down and
It
you just
just
hear the
needs to-
fan spooling up sounds.
Okay. When you place down cookie in trains, it'll probably spool up your fans. Because this is still like insane polys. The
1
recent update
million.
work. Everything forward of the cylinders is done
Wow.
until I go back and touch it again.
This podcast has been too
Wow,
normal
that's-
so far.
Forward of the
That's been-
cylinders.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so much of the locomotive, Tyler. There's like what, half the locomotive in front of the cylinders?
I mean, in terms of
Yeah,
poly
no.
count, yes.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
I mean-
that's the wrong tab.
To be fair, what do you count as in front of the cylinders?
Like
boy, here we go.
everything from the tube sheet forward.
Okay, what's a tube sheet?
It's the sheet at the front of the boiler that holds the tubes on that end. It's where the tubes.
So the
Come
back
down
end,
to
the
the
back
smoke
end of
box.
the back
The
end
back
of the
end of the
firebox,
cylinder.
or
Yeah.
firebox,
The
smoke
domes
box.
are
It's the other
done.
box.
Yeah.
Drivers are done. There's a lot of other stuff that is done.
Hey
But
Tyler,
it's-
how many
everything else around it is not done.
headlight configurations does it have?
God, I
Tyler,
haven't
what's the
started
solution to
doing
world
configuration.
hunger?
You know what is not done? The
More cookies.
textures. With the text, if I had the textures, I'd be happy.
Brain.
You know what also likes getting done? My statics homework.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
Your mom.
But then if anyone else except Tyler was saying that, I was expecting it to go there, but I don't know why I was expecting that of Tyler.
I think
Anyway,
it's funny that Nashville has commuter rail and nobody. Like, I asked Carly, who's from Nashville. I was like, "Did you know Nashville has commuter rail?" She's like, "No, it does." I think that's funny.
How
I
did
just
this
wanted to
come
say
up?
that. I just asked. I just was like, "Did you know Nashville has commuter rail?" And she's like, "It does." And I was like, "Yeah."
I'm kind of curious how
Ladies
you knew
and
Nashville
gentlemen.
as commuter rail. I'm not sure if I knew Nashville as commuter rail.
They have
What's
the Music City
Nashville
Star.
commuter-
Oh, yeah, that's right.
yeah,
I forgot
yeah.
about that. Yeah, they do have that, huh?
People that are happy
With
the
all
high
5
speed
stops.
All 5 stops, 1 engine, and 2 cars.
Tennessee can do so much better.
They use F40PH, ex-Amtrak F40PHs.
Okay,
and,
never mind. They've peaked.
Yeah.
And retired Metra cars, so...
Really? Are the Galleria cars? I thought they were bi-levels. Bombardiers.
No, they're gallery cars. They're like ex-Metra, old, ancient gallery cars.
I don't want the map.
And do you know how I know that? Is because the video I'm watching of it right now has the gyro light.
Oh, I see it.
God
yeah.
damn.
Oh, they live.
It's the only reason I know that they're Metra.
Okay,
Okay.
so when are they
I'm
getting
glad
it
you're paying
used?
attention to the show that we're
I
trying
am
to
I am actively listening.
Uh-huh.
I'm doing my thing where I skip through it to see how long the ride is.
Jesus Christ. I would rather you be watching it normally if you're gonna watch a video during the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Agili's try to watch a video for 5 seconds. Tell
Impossible.
I have.
Did
It's a shame TJ's not here because I've listened to TJ like get mad because Agili's will switch videos and then just like tab through when he's sharing his screen. and then like everyone wondered why we keep putting Agili's in charge of the like screen sharing.
Video.
Yeah,
Because I end up just taking it over.
yeah,
I end up just streaming something inevitably.
yeah. You take the initiative. And it goes to
Yeah.
show that it doesn't matter if you only do an okay job. Taking the initiative is sometimes 90% of the battle. If you want something to get done, start working on it. That sort of thing. Unless that something is more cookies, in which case Tyler, you're going to need to remodel Sheepskin.
Hey, look at that underside detail. It's perfect.
Also, actually,
You can't stop me.
it's funny that I'll show the audience the underside detail. It's funny that I bring that up. I say, because someone who did exactly that was tired of waiting for Tyler's 2-foot and decided to make 2-foot themselves as Hemlock.
Yes.
So, what have you been doing? Not necessarily with 2-foot. I understand that you have not been doing your 2-foot lately.
Listen.
Don't try and listen him.
They do some things. I opened the Blender file. I did do some things. I just didn't know what things I did because they were pretty small things, and I don't remember what they are now. I chip away at it periodically. I have like 16 other hobbies in the air at the same time, and also a full-time job. So,
See you,
what I've
Jillies?
been doing,
What?
Nothing.
I've-
Never mind.
been doing. So a couple weeks ago, the Waterloo Central Railway's locomotive number 9 turned 100, and they had a little celebration for it. They had a train go up to the shops, and then you could take a tour of the shops. The locomotive wasn't steamed up because, they just brought it back into service after a 10-year inspection late last year, and it had some slight issues, so they were trying to get those patched up. But you could, go up into the cab. They had the whistle hooked up to air, so you could blow it. So that was neat. I am sending some pictures now. One of them including the station the little depot they just recently finished at the farmers market, just north of town, which has a nice little mixed-use walking trail going up to it directly from one of the tram stations. So, nice and easy to get to.
That's
it's a
cool.
little CNR-style depot. Yeah, so that's just a picture of the whistle. I think that one I chose on accident, but that's number 9 itself, the little farmer's market station, and the train that took us up to the shops. So yeah, it's just a neat little 060.
I was about to ask what wheel arrangement it is because I did not remember.
It is a cute little thing.
It looks
Actually,
big
a
for an
4884.
Yeah, it looks big for an 060 from this perspective, but I mean, I feel like the thing that one often forgets is that even small steam locomotives are not that small. Unless
Yeah,
you're
so-
dealing with something
Yeah,
from the 1800s or 2-foot.
Yeah, even 2-foot. First time I saw 2-foot in person, first time I saw 2-foot in person, it's like, this is small, but this is still a big machine that can crush me.
Still,
Right.
will
Yeah.
put you in
Oh.
a hospital bed, if not 6 feet under.
Yeah,
Oh, actually, there is a photo from the cab of 9 that I wanted to share.
honestly,
Oh, yes. Yes.
is this the switch you put to get the boiler explosion?
I don't think so. I think it's just the light switch, but they just have googly eyes on it in there. I went, tried to go train spotting on Saturday. CN clowned on me. I saw them switching the yard, getting ready to leave from the platform while I watched Via, and then I missed them actually leaving town. So, yeah, all I did was I saw Via make the station stop, and that was 5 minutes. I was out for 4 hours that morning, and that's all I got. So yeah, that was a time. I was so cool and happy after that.
I did some foaming as well, actually. I kind of forgot. I just buried it under this past week because I was out at the brand new Pawtucket Central Falls train station in the middle of the night. It was actually a fairly nice time, surprisingly, despite being in Pawtucket/Central Falls. The station is really nice. It's well lit. It's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Like, they were going to do transit-oriented development around it. They were going to do, like, there was a mill building right next to it that they were going to renovate, yada yada, and then it burned down. So, there's not, like, a nice empty lot next to it. The three things next to it are a pair of effectively empty mill buildings, or with, like, thrift shops or whatever inside them, and an empty lot and a giant cemetery. So it is not a busy place. But there were a decent number of people using the station. I was there to count passengers. And then I was there, like, up to midnight. And you know what happens in Rhode Island right before midnight? Quota quota.
Oh,
Give
yeah.
praise to the state of Massachusetts.
I was sitting,
for keeping
just
you
sitting in the
relevant.
car. I thought I saw something moving out of the corner of my eye. I was like, is somebody out there on the platform? And then I realized it was a hopper car. And I went, oh, there's a freight train.
Mango gobbles.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
It just had orange G&W units on it. It was disappointing. But, you know, still, it was whopping like 5 cars long. Has anyone else done foaming today? I know, Achilles, you were going to go and see...
Yeah, but then God decided to make there be like 8,000-mile-an-hour winds, and so the train I wanted to see is actively tied down like 300 miles away, 300 and something miles away, and it'll probably be tied down until tomorrow night or tomorrow morning, which means I should still be able to see it tomorrow.
Oh, that works out.
24 hours after I want it, after it should have been through. It should have been through like now.
Well, you said it was, what, an hour and a half drive to where you were going to see it?
Yeah.
Meh. It's like 2 Rhode Islands.
Yeah.
I would have done it.
I know you would have. I have no doubt that you would. I feel like you would do it in a heartbeat. Partially because you said that you would do it, like a few
Yeah.
hours ago. But, you know, then the wind picked up, etc., etc.
I haven't done any rail fanning. I've been way too busy with the traffic projects.
Yeah. Really cool, though. I wish we had time to talk about that on stream, because I was being a little engineer on your shoulder when you were working through this
You're
traffic.
a good angel on my shoulder.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but when you were working through this, I thought it was very cool, because I haven't been able to do that kind of engineering in a while. I've just been doing straight signal design. It's kind of mind-numbing. But, yeah, we could talk civil engineer stuff.
Yeah, I did the
offline.
signal design on this project, and it was like mind-numbingly boring.
I've just been redrawing. I've just been redrawing like land acquisition plans in Civil 3D for like 4 weeks straight. Mind numbing.
I'm sorry. I wanted to jump onto something else, because I just scrolled down and I went, oh yeah, that's the one thing we haven't talked about. 2 weeks ago, or ish, 3 weeks ago, I was supposed to, unbeknownst to Gloria, get onto a train and go to Baltimore. Because East was there. And he said, hey, I'm going to be in Baltimore at this date, like on this day. You should come down and visit me. And I looked up the train schedules, I looked up the tickets, and I went, oh, I could totally do this. Except I had other obligations that day, and then I ran the hypothetical in my head of okay, what if I did this and was just oh, I'm just going to the train club and going over to my dad's house after that, whatever, and got on a train to Baltimore instead. I don't know why. It was just the call of the void of how far could I actually reasonably, how far could I get away from my house before Gloria was I wonder where he is.
I would notice immediately.
You would notice, yeah.
I would sense
The
that you have left these states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually is something that all Rhode Islanders, because of the whole Cthulhu thing, we can
Yeah.
sense people.
I
But-
would be able to tell.
Unfortunately, I was not able to go because the cat had to go to the vet. So East went without me. I told him, no, don't wait for me, go on without me. selflessly told him to go to the Rad Museum for me.
Falling in the line of duty.
Yeah. And there he saw a freedom train and a big banana, or like a minion, and
You know I'm here, right?
Pennsylvania Railroad thing. Yeah, I'm just clicking through your pictures here.
Okay. So all right.
No.
So sorry to interrupt.
No,
the
you went on
monologue.
without me. You're not here.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like.
Some say,
I
some
try
say
to
if
get
you
a
wander
chance to
Baltimore,
speak.
eventually you'll run into East Trail. He haunts it to this day.
Yeah, I actually got hit by a bright line in Baltimore. Yeah,
Smooth
yeah.
criminal.
So yeah, I went to Baltimore. I saw some trains. I did some train stuff. I saw some more trains. I saw some inactive trains. I saw one active train waiting for 5 hours.
Okay.
I saw an old railroad bridge which still said Pennsylvania Railroad.
A lot of the ones here still say, well, I say here back in Michigan, still say Grand Trunk Western.
Nice. I also saw a wedding take place. Granted, it wasn't in
He repainted all of
Baltimore.
theirs. Like immediately.
Wait,
Oh,
what the
that's
hell
right.
is this?
That's right. OpenTTD is a thing.
Oh,
What?
we're gonna do XXX mode soon. It was gonna start today, but then we podcast.
East, I'd like you to explain what the hell this is.
Okay, so
I wanted to ask
when,
East questions about Baltimore, but yeah, please explain this first.
so when Tyler was setting up the Japanese National Railway on leveled Cuba, he started in. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear
We're
you.
gonna hear all about the
I-
war crimes in Cuba.
I'd like
He
to
started-
protest. That's not leveled Cuba, it's sunk Cuba.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, my bad. Global warming
removed
is real,
Cuba.
guys. So he jokingly started building in the ground that had been flooded, quote unquote.
Oh no, that's right.
So he built his entire network in the area which the water was then going to reclaim. So he had to build a bunch of dikes to protect the water. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of this, but this also encased all of Bender's ships.
I'm glad.
So we had to make a massive, like 10, 15 wide canal over Tyler's system.
I'm so glad that I bailed in like 1920 and did not join once after.
Oh my god.
I
This is between
Also-
OpenTTD and MPS. It's been just rounds and rounds of wonderful, terrible chaos for the last
Also-
month or two.
Yeah,
this isn't
Bender
the
and
dike system. This is a goddamn train marriage. What are you doing? What
Oh,
are you doing?
I'm getting there. I'm explaining the plot.
So they
I'm
shot this
explaining
gorilla.
God damn it.
Okay, so JFK was driving down the street in Texas.
He's still
What are
alive.
you doing
So
with
then-
my boy Taki?
So then, jokingly, we all started placing engines on the dike that Tyler had created.
Can't use that
okay.
word anymore.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Sensitive.
Yeah. So we all started placing engines down until we realized that they were all going to crash into each other. So I just kept edging my engine closer until I was like in front of Taki's engine, and then I typed "now kiss,"
Oh my god.
and then we typed out the marriage scene because those two little O4Os are now married, and we have the
Okay.
two witnesses: the McKean rail car and the other thing.
I want my damn. This shut sucks. I want my money back. I hate this.
Listen, as the closest thing here, as like the closest thing that's ever been on the podcast. No, that's not true. Bishop has been on the podcast, but as something approximating a dike, I promise you can say it in reference to a dam. It's fine.
Oh man.
Um,
And this is
I
just
do
a
not
yeah,
unit
for
down
Bishop
there.
on this though.
that's one of two marriages we had on the server.
What was one of two?
Yeah, the second one was the marriage of Toronto and the nuclear bomb we dropped on it.
Jesus
of
Christ.
land and sea as you sunk Cuba
In
into the
open
ocean.
TTD. In open
It's like
TTD.
SimCity, not SimCity, City Skylines, where you can't level too much ground because you have like a storage cap. What we did is we just moved Cuba to the side of the map and built Japan.
Yeah, you guys, you put me out of a job. You destroyed Toronto. Where do I work
And
now?
then you wrote Booba on the side of the mountain.
Booba and Booba 2. No, Hem, I'll have you know, until the 30s, we on purposely left your area untouched in case you were ever gonna come back. But then we realized my bad, they're not coming back because they still run Steam, so we nuked your land as well.
Oh, Chief, it's
You're
narrow
welcome.
gauge. You run Steam for most of it, if not all of it.
Yeah, you can't
Steam is
not
all
run
you
Steam by the end of it.
Right.
Okay, but like we noticed you hadn't been on in 100 years, so we decided,
This is-
okay.
What it's like being
Um,
God in real life.
Yeah, I wonder if I have any other funny open TTD images. I think the rest of them is just.
Well, I
with,
wanted to hear about like your favorite and least favorite things you saw at the B&O Museum because I forget how
Oh,
much
that's
junk that
right.
they have.
They have my dad's favorite thing was the snowplows. They have out front, out back, out somewhere.
Like rotary snowplows or spreaders?
Spreaders, like they
Oh,
spread your
okay.
mama's leg. Yeah, let me post an image.
They
Shut the
spread
hell
your
up.
legs.
Spread and
Shut the hell up, Israel.
No, make me.
Also,
I think the most overrated railroad in the world is the Pennsylvania.
I think you're right.
for
you might
for
be
the
right.
benefit for the benefit of whichever two listeners have somehow not seen the OpenTTD server, this is what it looked like before things went to
Oh,
hell,
yeah.
and then what it looked like after.
This is a really
So-
good point of reference. This is Cubita, which is Canadian Cuba before. That's 1860, and then this is what it looked like in 2012. 2012. Well, that's fitting.
Damn, we never got any like. Yeah, so there was no green left on the map by the time it hit 2050.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is what pushed people over the edge
Everything.
to go, oh, we should do XXX and make it harder for these maniacs to destroy the entire planet.
The thing we could have done that like 4 maps ago, but like this was Bender and I just being way too bored.
Well, and that's what I've been saying. I've been looking at these, I've been looking at the numbers since, like, probably since the first map that we did in the patch pack in, on the Berkshires, I guess. And just being like, oh, this gets out of control. This gets out of hand. People can make too much money. It's too easy to manipulate terrain. And so I, like, started fiddling with that. And, yeah, it was just it took until now for everyone to take that to its logical extreme and destroy the whole world.
I mean, oops.
See, this is why it was.
Direction. This
This is why it
An
was
artistic
good that I
statement.
set up on top of the mountain in the center of the map, because you can't flood that much.
That's what you think.
Bold of you to challenge me.
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll
So,
send my 2 favorite things from the B&O. One of which is baby.
You
baby,
guys know that Vaporeon is statistically
I will remove you from
No,
this podcast and replace
Did
you.
know
That's
that
in the marriage.
statistically-
That's
Did you know
in
that
the marriage
statistically I know where
screenshot.
you live?
Hold up. There's more marriage screenshots
We
somewhere.
don't need
in
them. We don't need them. Can we talk about the
It's
B&O
okay.
Museum and move on? Like, I've already
Wait,
accepted the fact
I-
that we're going to be here all night. Thank God IHOP's open 24/7.
I also kind of want to complain about old boomers and train clubs if we have a second.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, well you can
Okay,
go first.
East Lightning Round. Hit it.
Oh, okay. So cute is the baby here, which is the cute little thingy-mabobber. It's the little electric boy.
perfect.
And they also have a GP30. However, I could not get photos of it because it's hidden away from my grasps. Hello.
Hey,
Yeah, we're here. We're listening.
Okay. Well, you guys weren't saying anything. I don't know if I disconnect or not.
Just
Also,
keep
you know,
going.
there was the image of the T1, which we had a little talk about.
We were doing literary analysis on rusted paint.
Yeah, here, let me send the literary analysis as well as the other continuation of the marriage screenshot. My least favorite thing. I mean, oh, actually no. Let me show you my dad's actual favorite thing. Here we go. This is my dad's favorite thing.
It's like the T-rail cars, but like
Oh, this is
Stout.
fantastic.
something Pitmobile.
I like how it has a 2-axle leading truck. Like, that's
Truck. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
gotta have the stability when you're going at speed.
It has like air brakes. He also really liked the Hudson, the banana. Hello. Okay.
Yeah, I was
Well,
gonna
yes.
ask, why is there?
I
why
found
does it
the
have photo of
roundhouse
a
kind
banana?
of under.
that is a minion.
The roundhouse was kind of eh. Like the coolest thing in the roundhouse, in my opinion, was the car which tells you the gauge or whatever it's called.
Mm. For me, the coolest
The,
thing in the roundhouse is the roundhouse. Like the building's cool.
Yeah, the building's really cool.
Photo of the
Hey, there's
GP30.
the Jeep.
That was
Oh,
not-
that's blue.
My baby.
that would
That
be
seems-
say.
Improper. Something about that seems off.
I mean, it's probably the nose.
Was the B&O's lettering that small?
Yeah.
It's how you use it.
There was also a
pretty
lot
small.
of C&O cars.
Average lettering.
It's small.
But yeah, I was kind of surprised to see a T1. Like, of all things, I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be like this, that. I was not expecting to just come across the T1, like, surrounded by rusting passenger cars. Like, I would have figured that the AFT steam engine would have been, like, the one thing they actually wanted to keep in good condition and not have scrapped and rusting away in between an Alco and a, passenger car which barely had windows.
Classic Railroad Museum stuff.
Yeah.
Did
And
you see the EA?
The what?
EA Sports.
The number 50?
Yeah. I did.
This boy.
Yeah, it's next to the Mark, like weird EMD rebuild thingy.
So freaking pretty.
They did a great job with the restoration.
Yeah, they make some pretty
It is.
stuff. I know they have like nowhere to run anything, but the stuff that they restore is all just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Then there's the Allegheny, or not Allegheny, yeah, Allegheny, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
the Allegheny.
Yeah.
You want to make
They
people
have-
mad.
They had a fireless boy, which was cool. They also had 2705. I was also not expecting to see 2705.
What is 27?
Oh, actually, I found it's a
That's the
book.
park
Oh, okay.
where the canal was. So you know.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The Burke.
I have my baby. You can see it. It's hidden away from my grasps. The roundhouse door, which I was taking these photos through, like you'll see it for the Canal War picture. There were a lot of holes in the door.
A lot of holes in the door.
Yes.
Hodor.
Oh, it didn't send. There we go.
Oh, more.
Like you can see in the
Oh,
top
sad.
right, like. Yeah, they have multiple RDCs, which is also cool. They should give them to Amtrak so they can run that service.
They should give them to the people in Rockland.
Yeah.
Also, I found it funny that they had a nuclear that the building which I was standing in, which the EEA is stored in, is classified as a nuclear bunker.
That's great. Where's the Pacific? East?
East is dead. There is no Pacific.
So it's off the west coast of California, I think.
God damn it.
Where's the last thing you heard?
Well, the last thing, I don't know, but Tyler asked where the Pacific was.
They had a Pacific?
That's
The George.
Wait,
I think that's
which-
George Washington.
which
Uh,
Pacific?
5300.
Sad canal.
Oh, wait, hold up. I think it's next to the It's next to the cheese. It's 4,500.
The
No, wait, that's the Mikado.
cheese?
Not the cheese. The cheese wedge. Yeah, the Hudson.
That's not cheese.
Yeah, it is.
That's a minion and you
These
know
photos
Have
suggest
you
it
never
should
seen cheese
be
before, Ellis?
by
it.
the
No, you're right. I'm sorry, you're right. I have never seen cheese before in my life.
Yeah, yeah, skill issue.
4,500 there is the first USRA Mikado.
Yeah. No, I do
Didn't
not remember
freaking
seeing a Pacific, nor do I have a photo of one, unless you mean unless it's like the big camera back in the roundhouse. But I thought there was an Atlantic.
But you
Look
know
at
what?
the one that I just threw a photo up of.
That was a beefcake
50.
Pacific.
No, I did not see that engine.
What the fuck are they doing?
It may be like getting restored in one of their back shops because they weren't running trains, so
Yeah.
I couldn't see their actual shops. Or maybe they stuck it
Maybe.
somewhere behind the Kanawha.
Because that is the President Washington.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of their notable pieces.
Yeah.
So.
No, the Mikado was where 5300 is in this photo because you can on the left it's the Allegheny.
Allegheny.
The L agony.
Allegheny.
So in slightly
The
more
Allegheny.
recent
The like
foaming adventures,
The
I
Ligma.
have to scroll again. I saw a Queen of the Skies again. Is it gonna send in the right chat? It is gonna send in the right
I
chat.
found
I saw
it.
another-
It was up here.
Yeah. I saw another Queen of the Skies. I saw 4-axle power. Hello?
Hello.
I was waiting for
Yeah.
Hemlock to say yay or
I
something.
love the passenger
Me
Jeep.
too. That's why I thought I disconnected because Ham didn't say anything.
I love
Um.
four axle passenger power.
Then I saw
Passenger
God
Jeep.
himself.
Passenger Jeep.
Oh, you know.
Who's God?
Oh, hello.
Oh,
The
oh,
Lord.
it's
Neil.
And
hey,
then
we
I
both
saw.
40s.
And then I saw. Oh shit! Don't send the whole ass video.
Can't
Then
show
I
that
saw
anyway.
double headers.
Double header. Oh my god.
And then I saw Jivo.
It's the double line.
And then I saw the one-of-a-kind rolling stock. It's the last gondola of its kind on the FEC. It's one, like this is the one remaining one. It was built in the 70s, and this is the last car both in this paint scheme and of its kind.
How do you know that?
Because I'm in a heads-up group with a bunch of foamers who know that shit.
That's okay.
They
It's
make
admirable.
O'Gillies look dumb, like with the knowledge they know.
Diesel foamers are something. Rolling stock foamers are a whole other breed I didn't know existed.
Oh, yeah. That's.
And then I saw an SD40 leading a train.
EMD standard cat based.
Yes, and then I saw a 4-axle power heritage unit. Well, we call it the heritage unit.
Is it?
That's because the paint is fading
Oh,
away so
God.
much you can see the original Hurricane logo behind it.
Yeah, it's a heritage unit by way of having the scheme over its original sandblasted off by time.
It's the Florida S cast. I love this.
Yeah.
I love this railroad.
Here's a photo of the unit I also took at the exact same time, but not zoomed into the side.
Jeep.
Jeep.
So we gotta wrap
Um,
this up, or else Julie's is not gonna have time to rant properly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
hold on.
okay.
And
This
then,
is- It's okay.
Lori's actually gonna kill me.
Okay, and then we have some more 4-axle power. Well, 4-driver power. I also went to the club and ran some trains, gobbles. And then
Yep, in the
I
club.
make everyone irrationally mad with the busway post. Beware of busway Xing.
So stupid.
Hate.
Okay,
It's
so,
so bad
you
on
wanna-
so many levels.
There's so
but I
much
won't
wrong
get
with
into
this
it.
photo.
Okay,
Right.
so I want to give a little bit of backstory for the people who don't know. The FEC followed the right-of-way out of Miami down to Homestead, down to Florida City, down to Key West. When they abandoned the Key West extension in 1935, they kept the tracks all the way down to Florida City. in the 90s and 2000s when they were ripping the tracks up, because Miami was building a new metro system,
Mm-hmm.
elevated metro on the exact right of way of the FEC, and it ended in Dade City, which is 10 miles south of Miami. But the right of way still went down for another 20 or so miles. So, what does the city do in modern day? Do they, one, keep the track installed, make ground level transportation with trains? Two, remove the track and elevate it up. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
I'm
Okay,
listening to your options here. And now he's gone.
I can finish this. Hold on. Or 3, do you turn that track into a goddamn separated busway and put railroad crossings at the intersections with the road as if it were a train? You there, East?
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say.
I need to plug my mouse back in.
This is the dumbest thing ever. Because, like, oh yeah, we're gonna install a busway and it's gonna use normal signals. Like, you know, it would basically just be 2 bus lanes going back and forth. But then they wanted to automate it. But to be automated, yeah, it's going to be automated.
Oh God.
So, you know, they run the slinky buses on this. They run the slinky buses. So it's like...
Now hear me out.
So, because it has to be automated, they have to put safety features such as crossing gates. Put back the motherfucking rails.
Yeah, hear me out. You know how we could improve the system? It'd be a lot easier to automate if the buses were always on a fixed path that they were held there, say by rails. And then, you know, we could transport a lot more people and it'd be a lot more efficient if we strung a bunch of the buses together. And then, you know, you've reinvented a railroad.
That sounds like a boondoggle. That's a boondoggle. No, we can't do that.
We can't do that. We have to rip up the railroad and then do like a train, but worse.
No. And then we take it to the logical conclusion of, well, if we want these on batteries, well, batteries are heavy. Then we just string up a wire.
Yeah.
No.
Put up
You want
the
to know
big
the
wires.
That's a
worst
boondoggle.
part, though?
What's the worst part, Israel?
This is where the metro ends. In the photo I sent. You can literally see the tracks continued almost into the busway. They had to build the busway around the metro tracks.
God. Anyway, Achilles.
For the sake of time, because I want to get to Locomotive Versus, this rant is probably not going. It's probably going to take too long, so we'll skip it.
Oh, can we have the abridged version? Because now I want to know. You're teasing the audience, but more importantly, you're teasing me.
Yeah.
I'll explain after the podcast.
Ah!
God damn it, Achilles.
It's just going to take too long.
Fine, you're teasing me, but more importantly, you're teasing... Fine. What time is it then? Speaking of 4-axle passenger power...
Oh my god, it's Locomotive Versus, except it's Diesel Locomotive
It's Diesel
Versus.
Motive
Happy April
Versus.
Fools.
Oh, Joey,
So-
you had one shot at
I
that,
don't-
Achilles, and you did so fucking shit. Holy
No,
fuck.
I wanted to do bad, because that's the joke.
But you put you're like, hey guys,
Alright,
it's
Ellis, I'll tell you
Locomotive
for two.
versus...
It's gonna be East and Tyler. Pick what locomotive you want.
Oh, we're doing teams?
No, it's East versus Tyler.
Oh shit, I know what I'm
He's
thinking.
anti... No. Oh, man. You got so
gotta
excited.
pull up the Wikipedia page?
Yeah, we're doing
that's-
double
it's
headers. We're doing double headers,
accurate.
but with diesels, because doing regular diesel locomotive versus was too simple. Too easy.
Oh,
Yeah.
what diesel am I gonna do?
You
That's a
have
good
the
question.
EMD F125 and the MPI HSP46. Those
Listen,
are your options.
Only one of them
Okay,
did
It's
I get...
4-axle passenger power.
I'm tempted to say that East shouldn't be doing this because, like, you know, I feel like it would hinder the competition if he died in the call every, 2
Why?
minutes.
No, skill issue. So 4-axle passenger power, why are you putting a restriction on it?
Because it's two
Let me run
locomotives.
the DD40X.
It's 2 locomotives. Look, DD40X is going fucking solo. It's 2 locomotives that do the same, have a very similar purpose and do the same thing.
You guys have been playing too
Oh,
much Bed
God.
Wars.
So it is as even as you can make it.
Actually, no. I'm gonna do even better than God. I'm gonna
I
No,
take
you
God
can't.
plus.
These are your choices. You don't get to choose.
No, I'm taking the
These are your
F69, and I don't care
choices.
what
You
you
don't have
say.
any.
No,
You
I'm
don't. You
taking
don't.
the
No.
for God's sake.
F69.
we set up this competition.
Okay, go. What are the choices?
Oh my
What does that
God.
make-
Oh my
I
God!
have a
Yes, I've
better
said it like
idea.
3 fucking times.
This has also been written in the document. It's here.
Ellis,
Oh,
instead
okay,
of
well, that was a-
passenger power, I'm taking
Oh.
a 4-axle passenger.
You could have picked anything, and you picked these two cretins.
Listen, I saw that
You
and I
really said-
wasn't sort of addressing
Sorry,
it
I
because
just
I don't
wanted a
want
locomotive that
to
was
kick
even
you off
and
the
fair.
podcast.
You could have.
I think he picked a fine pair. I think he picked a
I'll
fine
take
pair.
the
like
T
the
engines.
ugliest commuter locomotives I've ever seen.
Okay, well you're not wrong, but this isn't about that.
This is true. It's the beauty on the inside that counts, or lack
I mean,
thereof.
to be fair, the MPI HSP 46, that's a weird ass name. Don't look that bad. The EMD 125 though, like, dear God.
They are hideous.
Am I fighting for EMD
It's
here?
it's melted.
You're
It
you're
melted.
They
fighting-
are. I will say they are fairly evenly matched.
All right. Well,
Okay.
There are good things about both.
Okay, so
So how do we?
which one are you taking?
I'm taking the MBTA
MBTA.
thing.
Tyler, you get
Yay, my son.
I guess
Yay.
channel
Okay,
the spirit of the
alright,
F units.
My first stat: number of these broken down.
a lot for both of them. It's very high for both locomotives. Both of them are equally bad.
Okay, so do we just call stats off the Wikipedia page?
Yeah, there's not very much, so
Okay.
this will be quick. But
Total produced
40.
40.
Okay, Tyler.
Okay, what have we got here?
I swear to God, if these are identical.
Remember when
Okay,
remember when he said they're fairly
there's
evenly
something
matched?
Boy, this is gonna be the Berkshire Royale all over again.
Hey, east,
Yeah.
length,
Length. Whoa. Length or like just length?
length.
Okay. 21.64.
no, you do feet, you fucking commie.
71.
69.
Nice.
That's it.
The
Uh,
EMD has scored the first point.
Minimum curve
Minimum.
as a
You
stat.
should. Yes, you do.
You do.
Okay.
Okay, there's 3 different units of measurement.
Okay,
What do
do
you
the
want?
degrees.
20 degrees.
23 degrees.
Ooh, back to east.
Let's go.
No, it's back
No.
to east. Smaller is
No.
better.
yeah.
No.
The tighter, right?
Can you give it
No.
in feet, please?
My God.
East is 250.
East is 250.
Mine-
Oh, Tyler
250.
wins. Yeah, East wins.
What?
Oh, Tyler wins.
Oh,
Tyler
Tyler.
wins.
Here's the smaller minimum curve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyler
Yes.
wins. I got my
true,
numbers.
because you
Tyler
the
wins.
bigger the degree.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
tighter
yeah,
the
yeah.
radius,
Tyler's right. Tyler's right.
We should
You're
have
right,
learned
you're right.
something from building track and Raret's online.
Yeah, literally.
Julius, you're studying civil engineering.
Listen,
You
in
know
fairness,
what?
I
Question him.
I do civil engineering like as my job, but I still don't like. I haven't internalized that. I don't need it.
Fair.
All right,
Fun.
Tyler. Next question.
What's your max speed?
gonna be the same.
No, they aren't.
Oh,
110.
they're not.
125 for the optional gearing.
That's the optional gearing. I wouldn't go with the
There's-
optional gearing. I don't.
There's also 100 mile per hour for a 79-22 gear ratio.
Which is
It
what
is
Metrolink
listing
has.
the
Yeah, I was gonna say
125
What
as
Metrolink
the
uses.
start.
no.
Wait,
it's
so are we
not.
doing design speed or service speed?
I'm going with the design speed for the. So I was trying to create stat cards for these 2 days ago, and I went for the design speed for the MBTA engine because it is theoretically possible that they could achieve that in their current configuration. They're just limited to 79 in service by virtue of
Because
the rules.
that one where there's your problem episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas the Metrolink engines have a gearing that limits them to the lower speed.
Yeah. Oh, this is
So-
correct.
Okay, my argument. What is the gearing set for on the ES4?
Anyway, that's a point for
153
Agilius.
miles an hour. Okay,
East, I
locale.
dare you to ask what your PTC system is.
That's not. Oh my god.
I dare you.
Are we doing this?
No, I already asked.
What'd you ask, East? What did he ask?
I don't know. He died.
Again?
Hello?
Yay.
Hello?
Yes.
What was it?
Hi,
What was the question?
Locale.
What?
No.
No,
Location.
that's not a valid question.
I think Boston beats LA there.
Shut the,
I don't.
shut the hell up.
Ship it up to.
Doesn't even list locale on my
That's a style point, maybe.
That's no. That's not
That's
a stat.
Okay, if I-
This
if
is
I
why.
point.
This is why I made
If
a
I
document
do-
for this and I couldn't finish it. I'm gonna go get it now so that we can stop this.
If I do
Madness.
power output, which of the three numbers should I do? Or
At
are
wheel.
they all three different stats?
There are 3 different stats, probably.
Okay, I'm gonna do safety. Actually, let's do
We'll do 3
safety
different stats.
systems,
Okay, safety systems?
which is probably
Very
the same
bottom.
for both of us.
It's not the same.
Oh, IETMS positive.
Tyler
train
wins
control.
that one because IETMS is compatible with freight railroads and ACES isn't.
Okay.
That's why CSX locomotives have to be specially equipped to lead on MBTA because they use a funky PTC system, whereas Metrolink uses IETMS, which is standard. So Metrolink takes this one.
Standard.
Okay.
Hold on. Does this work? Does this work? This should.
You know
work.
what? To redeem myself for the fact that you people want me to use the actual gearing and not the optional, what's your tractive effort?
Tractive effort. 289.14 kilonewtons.
You're doing
Is it
starting.
Imperial, please?
Yeah, that's starting.
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like starting is fine here.
Wait, actually, what was that again?
289.14.
In kilonewtons, right?
Yeah.
Can we have it in?
316.
Can we have it in freedom units, please?
Well, it's listed in kilonewtons on the stat page, and then in quotation marks is freedom units. So, 65,000 pounds of force.
5,000.
That's 71,000.
71,000. That's the reason I asked for that is not because Murica it's because it's a unit that will be relatable to everything else we do for locomotive versus. Because we do that in pounds.
Okay.
All right, Tyler, go ahead.
What's
You're
your
asking the
factor of
wrong
adhesion?
questions.
Bro, I don't know what I'm supposed to be asking.
You're asking all the wrong questions.
What am I supposed to do? Tender
I'm not
loaded
gonna
weight?
tell you. There is quite a bit more on this locomotive that is
Yeah.
far superior than his, and you're not asking.
Yeah, but
any
here's
of
the thing. Unlike steam locomotives, you can't tell any of that from looking at it.
Yeah, how, like, what am I... Like...
Remember,
Okay, Tyler,
remember when
go.
we did this last time? Remember the first time we did diesel locomotive versus and it didn't go well? And I said, well, we're not doing that again.
I think next April Fool's podcast, we have to do Electric
Oh.
Royale.
or Car Royale.
No,
Yeah.
because Tyler and Loki were
Battleship.
figuring out a way to do Electric Royales.
It should be the same. It's just, you just need stats. That's
Okay,
it. You
okay.
need to make a stat
Again,
sheet.
factor
Into, like,
adhesion.
Weird
Yeah,
PRR
factor of
steam
adhesion.
engine electrics.
I want to see if
factor
my
of
battleship
adhesion.
works here.
It's at the bottom.
Yes, I see that. 4.423.
Oh my god, it does work. The strategy is good. 4.014.
Yeah,
But
that's very
I'm
good.
technically better. Something, I don't know. Something gobble gobble gobble.
Okay,
Uh,
Sure. Tyler.
Tyler?
That's right.
Here, what's
Tyler,
a good thing to go with here?
I think I know exactly what I'm gonna go with if I ever get to choose again.
You know, this curiosity's gonna kill the cat here, isn't it?
Oh,
Or-
same for me. Ask your thing and I'll ask my thing, and it's gonna go straight back to you.
Sandbox capacity.
Sandbox capacity?
Oh, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. That's one of the things I spent so long looking for. That's why these stat cards are incomplete. I did not find sand
Aw.
capacity for him. Or air
Have
reservoir capacity.
Anyone have Ian's number? Let's call him up quickly.
It's a really bad idea.
I mean, this is not
But
this
I'm
is
glad
not an
we did
EMD
it.
product.
Oh, okay. Tyler, ask your next stat.
Coolant capacity?
What?
You do
Coolant
have that one.
capacity.
No, I didn't hear what it like. I heard pulling
Coolant
capacity.
capacity. You do have
Like-
that one.
Yeah.
Engine coolant.
Coolant capacity, 360 U.S. gallons.
Oh, 291.
We're gonna assume
No.
more is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, duh.
So it's,
This is going to be an interesting one. Prime mover.
Caterpillar C175-20.
Jibo.
East takes it. That's a more reliable prime mover.
Okay.
It
Okay.
literally says prime mover Jivo.
Someday in
That's
the
what it is.
future, if we do more diesel stuff, I'll have to make a hierarchy of prime movers. Yada yada yada.
Okay.
Right, it's
train
3 to
heating.
5.
Train heating, locomotive supplied head end power.
Locomotive supplied head and power, inverted head and power with IGBT based with capacitor inductor filtration, 804 horsepower, 3-phase, 480 vac.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I have?
Okay. What's your watt? What's the wattage
Yeah.
on yours, Tyler?
600 to 1,000 kilowatt.
Okay, Tyler takes it. He's got more watts.
What is
Nice.
East's?
600
600.
kilowatt.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? I
Well,
had it pegged as something else when I wrote it down here. Did I get them confused?
Well, you
Oh
probably
yeah,
didn't go
yeah,
by
I see it.
kilowatt.
804. Oh, because I saw something that was 1050 on another stat card for. Oh wait, sorry, that was RPM. That was RPM. My bad. That's why I got confused. And yeah, this should say 600 kilowatts.
I think also for RPM, we're gonna do lower is better
No,
for RPM.
absolutely not.
Why? Why?
This higher is better.
Lower
RPMs.
Lower RPM for a better fuel usage means less maintenance and more efficiency.
More RPMs is more. You have more of them.
I miss when these were steam locomotives and I could
Me
understand
too.
them.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm just
Like, I'm a diesel guy and I don't
playing Battleship
understand
right
that.
now.
I understand this, so that's why I'm here.
This is
Tyler, ask your next question.
fuel capacity.
Tender
Question
fuel
mark?
capacity, 200 U.S. gallons.
2,350
Oh.
U.S. gallons.
2,000. You have 2,000 gallons.
200
It doesn't
US
matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. Tyler.
200 gallons.
I have one
200
bathtub full of fuel.
I don't think a bathtub is 200 gallons. I think
That's a
actually
pretty
big
substantial bathtub.
I mean, I never said how big my bathtub is.
Just barely fits your mom.
Damn.
God damn. All right, Tyler.
Go, Tyler.
I guess I am shorter. And yeah, to get the factor of fusion. Loco weight.
Combined locomotive and tender weight is 287,500 pounds.
Holy crap, I do understand diesels a tiny bit. 285,000.
Only by 2,000 pounds.
It doesn't.
You're
why does-
one.
He's
smaller.
He's beginning to believe.
Yeah, that's like one O'Gilly's mom's weight smaller.
Getting-
But it's like
He's-
half your mom.
He is awoke in the matrix.
I just,
All right,
you know
Tyler.
what?
Tyler, call something else.
what is there that would be good?
Oh, you know
Power
what? I can call?
output at wheel?
Power output at wheel. Where is
Yeah,
that?
that'll be on the Wikipedia page because I just go by at alternator for this.
Oh, at alternator.
No, you want that wheel.
Well, I'm. Yeah, he wanted
Alternator.
at wheel. It's
I-
three. It's two stats at alternator and at wheel. It's two stats.
East not have one?
East has it. It's
He
here.
has it.
Okay. I want at wheels. It's a nicer number for me.
Nope,
Oh,
he's dead.
well.
He's back.
East,
4,300 HP.
oh, 4,000.
Okay. Mark
Um,
down that point.
so let me look at these.
8 to 4.
Your guy looks dummy tall, except my guy looks tall compared to the coaches. But would it be illegal to look at to Google the heights of the coaches?
It would be illegal
Well, the
because it would
height's
take too
listed.
much goddamn time.
Oh, okay.
I don't know,
well,
like-
I don't want to say.
Don't
We
make
have no idea because my thing has a
Timer's
weird
out.
peak roof.
I'm gonna do engine type.
Engine
engine
type?
type.
Oh.
Oh.
45 degree V20 stroke 4
God damn!
stroke engine.
How are you a V20? My God!
I actually, yeah, I would like to know this. How is this a V20?
Because the
Bro,
10J
fuel efficiency much? Holy shit!
fewer cylinders is better. No, more cylinders is fewer
Yeah.
cylinders better?
More cylinders better because there are more of them.
Yeah, no, I'm only a V12. Holy fuck!
Okay, Tyler takes it, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and like.
Well, my logic is that fewer cylinders for it. I think you would have to develop a stat for that cylinder, or like horsepower per cylinder.
We've got to we got to make more power computations.
Yeah,
You'd
well,
have to
how
do
does Robert Lee
horsepower per
Messina's...
cylinder.
Nicholas
Ooh.
Wakefield's power computation.
We need to
No,
we need to
Ellis.
bring Robert Lee Messina back from the dead.
In which case, I would side with East here only because he provides more horsepower with fewer cylinders.
Well, that's just not number of
I-
cylinders.
That
That's
that I
horsepower.
think
Tyler,
that should be a different thing. if we're gonna
Okay.
do that thing.
All right, well you go with more cylinders, but then ask me Nick Wakefield's power computation.
Well, we didn't.
Nicholas
We
Wake-
just said it should exist.
Okay, well it exists now. I'm making it exist.
Okay, we'll do
Tyler.
some math and come back.
You
Tyler.
cite all your thing. Fact is, I'm gonna do
Tyler
the
takes it back.
question thing. What? Okay.
What?
you should
Oh,
ask.
because East
It'd
got
be
the
really
point for
funny.
having. Tyler got the point for having more cylinders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
so Tyler gets to ask.
So I'm gonna ask one before the funny. Height.
Okay. Height, so you are going to go with height. 15 feet, 4.5 inches.
Okay, 14 feet 6.5.
Ooh.
That's okay. Now this is the.
Okay, I don't have the
Question
number yet.
funny.
I don't have the number yet. Give me a second.
We're not going to call something you need to know, OJLs.
It's
We can
almost
only
a million weight computation.
God damn it, you people.
I
Did you call
so
Nick Wakefield's
tired.
power computation?
No, we called Ellis D'Amelio's weight computation, which is 1 for both of them because that's how diesels work. For
Yo,
the most
take
part.
engines, Tyler, let's go!
You're all powered axles.
Tyler,
You don't have unpowered axles.
I don't know how I would do Ellis D'Amelio's weight computation for like an FL9 with an A1A truck. I'd probably just sooner jump off a bridge.
Why did I let these three convince me to do this?
This is fun, at least. I mean, it's fun.
cylinder size.
Cylinder size. Let's see here. This is actually something I have. It might
This
be.
has got to be
That's
smaller
almost
than
the
me.
same. 5.29 liters.
Oh, holy crap. 15.7 liters.
More displacement takes the win.
Yeah.
Alright.
RPM range.
RPM.
Or
range.
RPM maxed.
The max RPM. 1,800.
Damn, 1,050.
Alright.
Your turn.
Oh, my ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 1,800.
Ask Nick
How did I
Wakefield's
get that
power
wrong?
computation.
No.
I have it.
Okay, but
They
like,
have
I'm
it!
Going...
I have Nick Wakefield's
that-
power
would I-
computation.
It would be really funny if we didn't call that stat.
Packed that we don't call that stack.
No.
Do you have brake force?
Brake force.
It's under my performance figure, so it's probably at the bottom for you.
I don't have brake
He does
force.
not.
Oof.
A brake force. One of these.
We only need to get through 4 more of these.
That's gonna be a
Please.
Someone
challenge.
asked
What, we go to
alternators.
style points?
I don't know. I'd like to go to the
Yes.
news.
Okay, actually, question.
I would like to be
I-
done with this before 11 p.m.
I would like to subject Achilles to the torture that I feel at times, Builder.
It's gonna be.
That's a very objective question, or not objective, but that's a very biased question.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna
Guess
pick
what?
EMD.
It's EMD.
Yeah,
It's EMD.
it's
EMD wins over
Yeah,
motive
Yeah, it's
power.
100% EMD.
It's not EMD.
Yeah.
Tyler
But what's your
absolutely
builder?
thinks that.
Motive
What's your
Power,
build-
which is an American subsidiary of Wabtec, which is it's a German subsidiary of Morse Condensen.
Actually, well, technically they're GE now, so technically his builder is GE, but when it was built, it was motive power. So
Well, listen, I'm gonna be.
EMD still wins.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I'm still
EMD
going for
wins.
EMD on that.
Yeah, nothing's
EMD
beating MD. I don't care how many Jivas you have.
EMD's nuts.
Okay.
You can EMD not. EMD wins. Suck it.
Alright, it's 12 to 5. Please just, like. I don't know. Something.
Have you done like number produced or?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was a
but-
tie.
Oh god damn it.
Okay, East,
Yeah.
you're built. We want the
You're built.
early year.
2013.
Okay, 2015.
Yeah, okay, so that's
Yeah, I
another
figured you
point
were
for
gonna
the
win that.
Caterpillar thing.
Woo. What else can we do here? Just need one more stat, right?
No, you need 2 more.
Oh,
We
great.
haven't done trucks. We haven't done wheelbase. We haven't done axle loading. We haven't done adhesion weight. We haven't done fuel type.
Fuel
we
type.
haven't done
Crew.
You'll
The
touch-
same
aspiration. We haven't done
Uh,
displacement. We haven't done alternator. We haven't done
okay.
traction motors.
We've done-
Wheelbase between truck centers.
Yeah, 45 feet.
42 feet 4 inches.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 15.
Okay.
It's 14 to 5, rather.
one more statties.
You know what you guys should do? You guys should do minimum weight of rail because I calculated that by hand.
You know what? Sure. Minimum weight of rail. Do it. What are they?
It's in the stat card. Well, it's for East. It's that's the wrong. These
I'm
tabs are
trying
the wrong
to
way around.
find. I don't know where they are on the stack, but minimum.
For East,
Whatever they are, 120 pounds a yard.
and for Tyler, it is 119 pounds per yard, as you would expect because he is slightly lighter. All right,
Hey,
it's
you should ask
15
driver
to
diameter.
5. No, driver diameter is 40 for both of you.
No.
Same as your number built.
All right. Judge's
Style?
choice.
No,
No.
I have no choice. My choice is I would like to die.
I have a choice.
What?
I have a
No,
choice.
doesn't
What is
doesn't
it?
Tyler still get to go
It
until
is
he
Nick
calls
Wakefield's
style
power
points?
computation.
No, I'm calling it.
No!
No, we have
Okay.
to go to style points. I get color points. I'm purple. I get
I have a
Boston points.
nickname.
Boston's better than LA.
Okay. Nick Wakefield power computation. The HSP 46 is 385.33, and the F125 is 200. So East wins it.
Okay.
Sure.
I don't
Okay.
understand anything that was just said, but sure.
And
I
it's-
also,
it's-
I'm also
horsepower
giving him a
at
point for
track.
being purple and having a big T on him, and the also not having like a nickname for the caterpillar, I guess. Although they call these the hypothermic bees.
That's
I
a cool
should get a
nickname.
style
Nickname-
point by being styled by a guy who I completely misread his name as Caesar Viagra.
My
Hey,
voice
That's
either
my
by-
Tyler,
that's my
each-
porn name.
East should get a point because the HSP 46 were sixes actually worked on delivery, and the F125s took like 5 years to get working right.
Do they even work now?
Kind of, not really.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
They
Like,
work. They're everywhere now.
It looks like melted butter.
The F-125?
Yeah.
the F-125 looks so dumb. It's not even
I don't-
funny.
I don't like it. What,
First
you know what they
new
should do?
EMD product in 15
I think
years.
East should get a point for not replacing F-59s and F-59 PHIs, which are objectively good locomotives.
I don't
We
think
should have done
no.
like the Chargers versus the P-42s.
No, well, obviously the Chargers are going to win.
The F-59 PHs are just better, I agree.
Or like the F-59s versus the F-40s.
No, F40 wins. You can't put anything against an F40. It wins by default. It's the only locomotive that ever wins by default.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we? Does this have to keep going?
No,
No.
no.
I have one more question for Tyler.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What is your UIC?
What the hell?
My-
It's the same. It's the same.
It's a Bobo.
Bobo. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that's Diesel Motive versus. I'm glad we could do that after so much anticipation. I hope you guys
Well, that-
enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, I don't blame you.
Fittingly, the F-125 was one of the locomotives used because, like the F-125, this was a disaster.
They're both terrible.
And yet the
I've
F-125 wins 16-8. Don't you speak bad about the MBTA. Just kidding. It's a disaster. I'm going to vote for the
Speaking of the
MBTA
MBTA.
thing, but because it's like the less bad option.
They're both ugly sons of bitches, and I don't want to vote for either of them. Is that the end of the sentence? That might be the
Okay,
end of the sentence.
And Achilles
You
doesn't
have
get
to
a vote because he's a judge, so the MBTA things are running. Achilles doesn't get a vote because he put this whole thing together.
Yeah.
But that's not setting
I
a
do have a
precedent. I'm just
favorite.
saying that right now so that the MBTA can win 1-0.
No, I like the Metrolink engine.
That's too bad.
Did you kick him from the car?
No, I didn't. I didn't do that.
Did you even protest?
The Metrolink engines are cooler.
I didn't kick him. Maybe somebody else did.
No,
God damn it! I want to go to bed on time.
kicking me.
Anyway,
That's
the MBTA is a
The
disaster,
MBTA
as
wins.
established. But if you
I'm the
guys
new
were
girl.
curious as to why every MBTA line had slow orders, we got some follow-up. On March 7th, 2 days before the T imposed its system-wide slowdown, which is just garbage, by the way, the Department of Public Utilities sent 6 immediate action notices to the MBTA's senior management concerning safety issues its inspectors had discovered on the Red Line in Dorchester. So, there was an issue on the Red Line, and the feds approved the corrective action plan, which included an updated strategy for the agency to support field observations, audits, inspections. During an inspection on the 6th, public utilities staff walked along part of the southbound Red Line track and, quote, identified concerning conditions and violations of track standards that required immediate corrective action. And apparently they were so bad they went, this is something that is clearly not an isolated incident. For things to get this bad here, they have to be really bad all over the place. So we're talking defective insulators. Also, one of these things was apparently T operators were not turning on their headlights in the tunnel, which is that's something. 2 days later, on March 9th, the MBTA just set in a system-wide speed limit of 25 miles an hour, and some lines are still under that speed restriction. This was about a month ago now. Outstanding. And don't worry, they've been doing a fare project instead to make all the fares work better, and guess what? That doesn't work either. It's way behind schedule, and it don't work. So, glad that's happening. I don't suppose anyone other than me has been to New York City recently.
Define
this
recently.
podcast. Within the last couple of years, they rolled out a new fare system where you can, instead of like having to buy a subway ticket or whatever, all the subway fare gates and all the bus things, you can just tap your debit card or tap your credit card if it has a tap functionality.
It's
It's
a really good idea,
a-
actually.
really good idea. And not just that, it keeps track of how many times you've tapped in a week, and if you go over the cap, it's the same as if you bought a week pass, and it just doesn't charge you for the rest of the week.
Nice.
Like, that is, to me, the gold standard, and I feel like, holy crap, why can't we just do that everywhere?
That's really good.
Yeah.
there's something sort of like that up here. Metrolinx who operate Go have like it's still a fare card that you load money onto, but it's a fare card that gives you a slightly reduced fare, and it also works on like a bunch of the transit systems around Toronto, so you can tap it, so you can use it for like the Union Pearson Express, the train that goes to the airport. You can use it for Go. You can use it for like Toronto City Transit. And, if you take the same route enough times, then it'll start knocking down your fare incrementally.
Yeah, that part of it is cool. The thing that gets me is just we always talk about, like, sort of like what you said, where if you're taking it on different agencies of transit, it's the same card, it works everywhere, right?
Yeah.
This is just cutting out the middleman altogether. And I feel like I'm so glad we've reached this point in technology where we don't have to worry about this fare system, that fare system, whatever. If any transit agency in 2023 is making an update to their fare system, it should be like this. It doesn't matter if you've never ridden this or if you ride it 100 times a day, it's the same amount of simplicity. You just walk up, you tap your card, you're good.
Yeah,
I understand
really
some people don't have credit cards or debit cards or whatever, and yeah, there should be some provision in for them because the MTA still has its proprietary fare systems and stuff. But the way to broaden the area of a proprietary fare system and make those interconnections simpler is to just remove it entirely.
Yeah.
That's why
make your
Japan
fare
has-
system proprietary.
Yeah.
That's why Japan has one fare card for the entire network of Japan, including all trains, subways, buses, metros, everything you can name, all use the same card in Japan, even though it's not nationalized.
Yeah, and that is
Yeah.
really nice. Unfortunately, that works when you get on top of it right away, but now we just have the XKCD problem of we have created a new standard that will encompass all previous standards, and it's just like, no,
There
you've
are
just
15
created it.
competing standards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I
not
feel
one
like
meme.
you could government mandate try to government mandate having like one national standard if there was any significant contingent of government officials who were like, yeah, we should make the government actually do something to make people's lives better.
Or even if there was any contingent of government officials that cared about this specific issue,
Right.
This is
Like-
such like a niche thing. Most people, I mean, a lot of people live their lives and never interact with a transit system that they have to care about this much. A lot of people will
Yeah.
live their lives and only ever interact with one, or certainly never interact with multiple at the same time.
Right.
New York City has like 5, if you count Amtrak as one, plus the bus systems, which I think are a little bit different too.
Yeah.
And this is a place where, like, they finally did. They buckled down and they said, okay, we're going to do this. And yeah, this is only mostly the MTA sort of thing. But it's a start. I really wish, it would be really cool if we had a nationwide mandate of this sort of thing. But
Right.
for the most part,
Yeah.
it's small potatoes.
You know the conspiracy theories about how 15-minute cities, they're gonna like steal your car and lock you in a 15-minute radius of your house. If that means some of these people learn how to use transit, I actually support that.
Oh, man. If you want to transfer onto an Amtrak train in Trenton, for example, well, actually, you no longer can. Not only are there substantial changes to Trenton, they're actually discontinuing, or to be specific, they are discontinuing 2 of the Acela stops at Trenton, and they are also cutting back the Night Owl service. That's trains 65, 66, and 67 to New York City for, I don't know, it doesn't say how long, but for the immediate future because of track work. So, unfortunately, my Night Owl trains, which are like the best Amtrak trains for me, because I like being able to travel while I'm also asleep. It's
Yeah,
killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
I have said before that like I feel like you could make a pretty significant argument for cross country for like long distance rail if you ran a lot of it at night. Because like imagine if instead of like taking a red eye flight, you could get into a hotel room that will drop you off in the place you need to be, and you've been asleep most of the time in an actual bed and not a horrible airline chair.
Yeah. Yeah, and that assumes you're actually getting to sleep in the horrible airline chair. I mean,
Exactly.
Europe has an extensive sort of network of night trains, which we've talked about on the show before because I love night trains almost as much as I like airships. And the man himself is incidentally from Europe. That is Train Daddy. That is Andy Byford. He's
Kavan zone.
yeah
Kevon.
yeah also Kavan, but
Yeah.
he was in head of the MTA for a while in New York City, and then I think he had a spat with Cuomo and quit. And then he's returning. He's returning after a stint as the head of transport for London, and he will be the executive vice president for Amtrak. So, if there is
boy.
one person I want in Amtrak, this is the guy. You know?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was end of sentence there, but I will steal it one more time just to say that his tenure in New York was marked by an increase on time subway performance and the approval of a $40 billion proposed spending plan to modernize the subways and buses. So, point is, he gets stuff done.
He is the transit guy. I don't know the specifics, but I know he did some. But I've heard he did some real good work here in Toronto. So, let's go. Andy Byford for the win.
He's like the anti-Hunter Harrison.
Yeah.
Where he comes and he works his magic and the railroad gets better. And I hope he actually does that and doesn't, do the Hunter Harrison and just keel over midway through his...
In fairness to Hunter Harrison, allegedly he did good work for CP. What happened with CSX was keeled over halfway through.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
But...
Well, I mean...
Hearing is...
In fairness, Andy Byford also had to dip out halfway through his magic in New York, but that was because Cuomo was an asshole and not because
Yeah. That's because
Andrew
no one
Cuomo.
baked him some ziti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him I'd make him some Z.
I do have one more little piece of passenger rail news, which is just sort of a return to previous stuff, although I would like to... Does somebody have the article about the big idea? Hemlock, you could probably pick up about Hunter Harrison in a minute here. But,
Oh yeah.
we've talked about UP and Metra and them going to court over who has to run the trains for quite some time.
Story.
Finally, UP is getting off scot-free. It has announced today that they will, quote, safely and seamlessly transfer its commuter operation in Chicago, including the employees who perform the work, to Metra. So,
Oh boy.
Yeah.
UP is finally weaseling out of its commitment to run its lines of Metra, and Metro will now be taking that over.
Wait, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, it's probably a good thing for service, although I don't think those lines were suffering for service. It's probably it's yay on account of, Metra's getting a hold of more of their system, but number one, they didn't want to do this. UP was sort of taking on all the troubles of running these things, and this is UP going, nah, I don't have responsibilities, I'm out. So
this is your headache now.
Yeah, it's good asterisk. It's on paper it's a good thing, but in reality it's just UP getting out of its responsibilities, and we should not. I was rooting for Metra for this whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
BNSF is probably next. BNSF also has lines they run for Metra.
Follow suit.
So, but I have a question.
Yeah.
When they say transfer to Metra, does that just mean the trains, or are they also transferring the lines?
They're
Everything.
I don't think they are transferring ownership of the lines themselves, but they are transferring... I think they were run with Metro equipment anyway. But they are transferring the employees
Like the
to
crews
Metro,
and stuff like that.
which is kind of a big deal. If I was one of those employees, I'd be pretty happy about this arrangement, I would think. not working for UP. I don't know how it is to work for Metro, but not working for UP sounds like an absolute win to me.
I mean, I think anything's better than like the number 2 rated worst company to work at.
Yeah, right above EA.
Yeah.
No, right above NS.
Oh,
Yeah. Speaking of terrible companies to work for,
another
and
class
things
1.
getting better for employees, and continuing on from Hunter Harrison. So Hunter Harrison, kind of a mixed bag. He started the process of getting CSX onto what would allegedly have been true PSR, but he died before he could finish, and it left us in this
Damn.
state of
Relatable.
in this current hellscape with with bad PSR on every gosh darn railroad,
It's
and
small.
this continuing class 1 meltdown.
Yeah,
Now-
the small domino is Hunter Harrison dying, and the big domino is Conrail 2.
Yes.
Cam.
And
Walks of power on the cam.
now,
Oh,
from that
A train,
introduction-
boo!
From
What
that
cam?
introduction, I could
The
segue into
rail cam.
nearly any article I have in front of me. But what I'm going to segue into is that CSX's current CEO has struck on a brilliant idea. Haul more freight and make things better for your employees.
Unbelievable.
Run your goddamn
What?
railroad properly. That's the big idea. He struck on his first million, folks.
This man is currently he's actually just like a sock puppet, and he's being controlled by oh god damn it, what's the guy who runs the
Guys.
RNN?
Railroads have to haul freight. It's like literally 1984. Like
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
we're literally in 1984.
Yeah, it's Conrail again.
If you want growth and employee retention, you actually have to provide good service and well, ow.
You alright?
Who?
You cut out, and then it
Ew.
came back to you going, ow. Oh, I guess you were saying
No.
wow, right?
No, I was saying wow. Yeah. I was
Okay,
saying,
yeah.
You running a railroad well means you have to provide good service and treat your employees well. Wow. What a
Yeah,
shock.
unbelievable.
And,
So, what is CSX doing to treat its employees better?
Oh, I didn't write that down, but it was because that's basically the whole point. That's basically like you can stop the article right there. That's all you need to know is
True.
CSX is like we should provide more consistent service and like treat our employees better. But doing things like offering paid sick leave, better pay, more consistent scheduling.
Hemlock is literally
Like-
reciting Ingsoc.
They did
less
reach
worker
an agreement
furloughs.
with the IBEW on paid sick leave,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
a step in the right direction.
They are after strike. They have reached an agreement with the. Well, I don't think after a strike actually, but they have reached
After an
agreement
almost
with the
strike.
International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers to provide paid sick leave. So
Unbelievable.
that's great. I think we're circling back. I think we're circling the drain once again. Of is CSX gonna become the good guys?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Honestly, they've been not the bad
They've
guys
been-
for at least a few years.
Yeah.
Actually, hold up. Speaking of CSX, I'm sorry to interject here. That actually reminded me of something. I may
Uh-oh.
or may not have insider information
Oh
on
no!
CSX.
Okay, if it's inside.
All right, well, hold on. Let me
information,
turn
it's
the
probably
voice
do not share
changer
information.
on.
No,
We
well,
brought in a
oh,
special guest. His name is West Rail.
Yeah.
Yes, I have
Westroad.
information
Westroad.
about
His name is
CSX.
Westroad.
No, I know someone who was talking to crew, like maintenance of way crew to CSX when they were doing some maintenance on the line by his house. The only issue is this guy is like trustful 60% of the time.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And bear in mind,
Hearing is electrified.
I want you to know that railroad
And-
employees are oftentimes only a rung above foamers on not knowing what the
Yeah,
fuck is
we-
going on.
Yeah. So we are firmly in the hearsay portion of today's
So this
episode,
is
folks.
100%
Yes,
just hearsay.
No, but apparently CSX is planning to again, according to him, CSX is launching a new plan called Build Back Better, or something like that. I know
I'm
it's
sorry.
like-
What?
Yeah.
I feel
no,
like
Build
the,
to Know
the
Better.
plagiarism
That's what it
police.
was. Build
Joe
to Know
Biden,
Better.
CSX CEO.
No, Build
Joe
to Know
Biden.
Better.
Oh my god.
And so apparently CSX wants to reactivate a bunch of disused or like abandoned or trying to like sold off lines to try and get traffic numbers back up.
Yeah, that way Amtrak can't clown on them with a webcam.
Yeah.
This is purely in response to that and nothing else.
Clearly.
I don't
Um,
want to disappoint you, but again, I will restate the fact that in my experience, these sorts of people are only a rung above rail fans, and it is not uncommon for them to want to fuck with rail fans and lie. So
I am 100. That's what I said. He's like 60% trustworthy, 50% of the time.
I am going to go on the belief that they're probably just fucking with him.
Yeah.
That's entirely possible. However, at least they're effing with him.
Are you okay?
Oh God.
Did NS chemical spill outside your house? You good?
It turned him into a broken rubber chicken.
You alright? You alive there, East Rail?
West Rail.
Yeah, West Road, our special correspondent.
No, he's about to correspond with the other side. We can get Hunter Harrison's perspective.
I'll ask Hunter Harrison himself.
Special industry guest, Hunter Harrison's ghost.
All right. I guess.
Contact me via Ouija board.
Speaking of chemical spills outside of people's houses, and also the villains.
No,
So-
I was mid drinking water when O'Gillies made me laugh.
Made someone laugh?
Obviously, CSX got to our correspondent.
Yeah, clearly.
So, yeah. The villains in the continuing Class 1 meltdown, Norfolk Southern, the NTSB has released initial statements on 3 of the NS derailments that have happened in March.
I love it when the NTSB releases stuff. I just gotta say, it's always juicy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! How is this the one time that East's mic has not broken? Is when he's just dying. He's actually dying.
Dying.
He has about
cough
5 minutes to
directly
live.
into our ears.
Jesus Christ!
So, derailment 1
My
on
chest
March
hurts.
4th. This was the one I believe in Ohio that was caught on camera from both sides of the crossing.
Yeah.
Spilled a train all over the goddamn ground, including, wasn't it like diesel piss? Like
I have no
they had
idea.
diesel
No,
piss
it was
to-
human piss.
No, I believe they talked about this.
No,
They
it was
talked
straight
about
up.
this on like the most recent episode of Well, There's Your Problem. Like one of the things they spilled in the accident initially, people thought it was hazardous material, but it was actually used oil from the diesels, but with the compound including urea in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that one went all over the ground due to a defect in National Steel cars. So a bunch of those are being taken out of service. NS is removing 517 National Steel rail cars from service because of a defect in their wheel sets.
Oh boy.
Derailment 2 on, well, not a derailment, but an incident. I don't know if the train actually derailed, but it was definitely an incident, and it was a fatal incident. Incident 2 on March 7th. An NS train backing, doing a backing move in a steel plant, collided with a dump truck. The conductor on the back protecting the shove was, I believe, killed in the accident.
Yeah, I remember reporting on that one.
In the initial statement, the NTSB has stressed, proper training and communication with crews between crews when like approaching crossings and doing backing maneuvers. And incident 3 on March 9th. NS, I guess string-lined a train in Alabama. Well, it doesn't look like a string line, but they definitely put a train all over the ground. Put a train all over the gosh darn ground in Alabama. So the NTSB released a statement saying they were, basically doing all of the normal initial stuff, like looking at the signals, looking at the track. One of the things they noted is that on the train there were 2, I believe, early Jeeps in dead tow as the train.
Oh yeah, this is so dumb.
Oh,
Which
is this
were
the ones that took a nap?
improperly positioned. According to NS rules, they should not have been coupled. They should have not have been coupled back to back, as they did not have lateral couplers, basically couplers that allow for better lateral motion. And that probably might have had something to do with them going all over the gosh. The article notes that all of these investigations are ongoing. These are the initial statements.
This is NS
Go ahead.
put a train together in the right way so it doesn't fall over challenge difficulty impossible.
Right. Like, I mean, is NS usually this bad? Because, like, did someone put stupid pills in the drinking water, or has NS just been this bad and it suddenly feels a lot more... It suddenly feels a lot easier to notice. I feel like they've been this bad for a while, but it's way easier to notice now that they, chemical bombed a town, and everyone's keeping a very close eye on them. Chemical bombed a town.
On the one hand... Sorry, you go ahead.
I was going to say, remember that week and a half where they just stringlined 16 different center beam trains?
This is true.
3 years ago.
Yes, they have been this bad for a while, but it's not some of it is definitely... It is a new thing, or at least new as in the last few years, I feel like. Because with the onset of PSR, it's just been we don't need these safety procedures. We don't need these, common sense things that we do. We don't need to think too hard. Put the train together and run it. They tried too hard to come up with a way to save more money. They thought too hard. They wrapped all the way back around into not thinking at all, and they've just been... I mean, every railroad, but NS in particular has been making messes, causing catastrophe.
And that's just
like
sucks.
the insanity of it. 2 of the first 10 image results on Google that I just did were of Rex. I just put in Norfolk Southern and we get
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
It gets worse the more I scroll down.
to find out how things are getting worse, Congress held a hearing on PSR, and one of the people they interviewed was Norfolk Southern's CEO. The whole, you can go watch the whole 3-hour hearing. Probably should, because healthy democracy things. Full disclosure, I haven't. What I have watched, however, is a standout moment in which Bernie Sanders grilled NS's CEO on whether he would commit to leading the industry and ending PSR.
It was one of the funniest goddamn things.
Norfolk Southern CEO simply repeated over and over to a point where it felt edited, like no way this man could repeat the same canned response in the same canned tone 4 times running, that he would commit to doing the right thing. I'd like him to define the right thing, but
the right thing.
It's a hell of a clip.
Maybe. What was the CSX big idea again? Running more freight?
Hauling more freight.
Is that the big? Is that the right thing?
Yeah.
Could it be?
It's almost like the right thing is running good service and not treating your employees like dirt.
Anyway, do we want to wrap up this catastrophe portion of the podcast here? Well, Achilles has a little addendum.
Well,
Yeah, I do.
wait. May I just real quick
Tyler?
run down? May I real quick just run down the Congress, the rest of the Congress stuff, because
Yeah,
they
go ahead.
introduced a couple bills. So, the very short Cliff Notes version is that 3 different bills have been introduced into Congress concerning rail safety. The first is the Railway Safety Bill of 2023, which tries to do a bunch of stuff to make trains safer. Specific. A lot of the stuff is specifically cites a lot of the stuff listed in the bill cites a specific incident as an example. It was introduced by John Fetterman, Bob Casey, and Sherrod Brown. Bill number 2, the Derail Act, introduced by Rotana and Chris DeLuzio. Broaden what counts as
That is a
hazard
horrible
flip
name for
trains.
an act.
Yeah, lower speed, better brakes, required reporting, and both of the above in the bills would require a minimum of 2-person crews. Now,
Nice.
the last one, the Rail Act.
Hold on. Hold on. Before we cover what the Rail Act is about, is the Derail Act some sort of terrible backronym?
It is. So's the Rail Act.
Of course it is. That's why these things have the worst name. They're either names that are 16 words long for no reason, or names that are 16 words long because they tried to make them into a catchy
Because they
single
try
word.
so hard
Yeah.
to make an act.
I cannot wait
the-
for the Cum Dumpster Act.
It's the Decreasing Emergency Railroad Accident Instances Locally Act.
Oh my God.
And the
Oh.
Rail Act is the Reducing Accidents in Locomotives Act. The rest of the train
Locomotives!
is just the locomotive.
Specifically in locomotive.
You know what? You know what?
Yeah,
That's
if
right.
you pee yourself in a locomotive, this act is gonna help you.
If you know what, that's a really good point. The locomotives in East Palestine were fine, so we don't need to address that.
Yeah, exactly. The Rail Act was introduced by Bill Johnson and Amelia Strong Sykes, and it does mostly the same thing as the Derail Act, except it does not have the minimum two-person requirement.
Bruh.
So, really fixing the problems.
Well,
Yeah, so instead of having 2 sleep-deprived people in the cab, you only have 1.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Thankfully, at least 2 railroads, including our big villains here, have decided to do away with the ground-based conductor idea, I guess. Right, Achilles?
Kinda, yeah. So they're decided. Hey, the ground-based conductor idea is a bad idea, especially after what happened. So Union Pacific announced that they were going to drop their push for one-man crews.
Yay.
Yay! And
Yay.
that's great. That's all cool and good, except it means that when they say they're getting rid of two-man, not getting rid of. When they say they're stopping that pursuit of two-man crews, that means we're capping the crew limit at 2. So,
damn it.
So there'll be 2 people on a train, and that's it.
You can't have more people. As we all know, it's impossible to have more than 2 people on a train.
So it's good that they're stopping and that there will at least be 2 people. But
God damn it.
it's only so good.
I have a follow-up question. How often were there more than 2 crew members on a train?
It's mostly when they have a local that has a like you have a brakeman and a conductor
Okay,
and an engineer.
well,
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess makes sense.
But now it will just be 2.
yeah, I don't... Of course it'll just be 2. I'm
Yeah.
sure this won't cause any problems like the guy getting squished against a cement truck.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad they're requiring 2 people, and I don't know, I don't know how often you would get I don't know how often, getting more than 2 people on a train would be. It's probably not going to cause another East Palestine, but not great. I feel like you shouldn't be saying you could only have this many people, you can only have this much crew on your train at once.
If someone is getting
Like
trained,
that.
is that an exception?
Probably.
I would hope
No,
so.
I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on the definition you're
it's
going
not an
for.
exception.
Are they
You-
running the train?
I have no idea.
They run
No.
the thing.
Gobbles.
Anyway,
So
yeah,
that's that.
that's you know what? If this is the price we pay for having not one-man crews for the foreseeable future,
I'll
I'm
take it.
fine with it. Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I honestly, like, Achilles, you kind of got me convinced that we would be running into, like, inevitable one-man crew territory with this, with sort of the way everything worked out with the
And-
strike. Honestly, I hate
It
to
looked
say...
like it was heading that way.
Yeah. And, amazingly enough, the thing that stopped it,
Was
blowing
East
up
Palestine.
the town of East Palestine. I don't feel like there would be this much attention on this, even half this much
No.
attention on this, if it weren't for that.
I will say this is totally just a PR move, so that people can't say, "Yeah, you railroads blew up a town and then you cut a crew."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a PR move.
Yeah, well, but
It's
it
nothing
is
more.
responding
But-
to, like, hey, the general, like, I understand that it isn't necessarily because they think it's a good idea, but the fact of the matter is that they're doing it. Like,
Right.
I don't care if they don't think it's a good idea. If they were doing it because Congress mandated it, they'd be doing it because Congress mandated it. But you know what? They're doing it on their own, so that no one has to mandate it, and no one has to, so that we don't have more problems, be that in train or in locomotive or out of locomotive. I'm just glad they're doing it.
And just
Yeah.
by the mean. In this case, the mean being blowing up part of Ohio.
No, that
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I'm of the opinion that, like, this is the sort of thing that Congress should be setting a floor on anyway, because, like, you know, I feel like it's fair to say the railroad should not necessarily be trusted to do the right thing. The basics of safety should always be regulated, and it should always be regulated as a floor. It should not be, we're putting a ceiling on this until you reach this floor. It should just be, you have this floor now. Meet this floor.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put two people in the train.
Yes.
But you know what? At least they're putting two people in the train.
They are.
Unfortunately, I don't think any number of people would have been able to stop the 146 mile an hour runaway. But at least
Probably
we...
not.
Hold on, East. Check the numbers for me. Did we set a new speed record?
I mean, depends on officially based off of the last detector mile post we have. No, by 1 mile an hour.
Right, that's right.
But based off the alleged max numbers by people within UP, 153 would in fact set a new speed record.
It was not 153.
Well, it got up to 148, so
Not
I
with that
agree.
attitude, it wasn't.
Yeah, this is...
Well, 147 would tie it, I think.
No, 148 would.
Oh, it's
Wait,
148.
let
Yeah,
me
what's
check.
the one short?
It also probably won't. It probably doesn't really count because it wasn't intentional.
Well,
I mean,
I don't care.
Speed is speed.
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
speed.
148.5.
It wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional when that one Irish guy on an atmospheric railway hit 100 miles an hour. But
or when the
in our
hurricane
hearts, we
hit
know
100
that's
miles an
the
hour.
speed record. That's the first train to hit 100 miles an hour, baby.
It was the hurricane.
No.
I will stand on the hill till I die. Speaking of standing on hills and dying,
Jesus Christ!
they haven't killed anyone lately, so I can't make any death jokes. But they have put some of the coaches into a very nice, pretty Bougainvillea flower design.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
It is very pretty. I like this.
For
But I
those
want to see
curious,
more
the
of this.
Brightline death counter is up to 88 at
Yeah.
the most recent check.
Yeah.
So yeah, Brightline also hit, despite what the article says, 135 miles an hour, testing the Orlando branch. And Brightline does have plans to go 150 miles an hour. So, very shortly Brightline could hold the official diesel speed record.
That would
Yeah,
be
which
very
is-
cool.
Which
Yeah.
is nice. I've stated my grievances with Brightline as a concept before, but I'm glad that there's new high-speed rail. Can't wait for California high-speed rail to finally get itself done and blow this out of the water.
Yeah, I just wish it was. I'm just glad it's here. For all the gripes about Brightline, I'm just glad it exists. I'd rather live in a world with Brightline than a world with no passenger rail doing what Brightline does.
It is
So.
it is entirely possible that Brightline West, aka Nevada, what was it, LA or something like that, finishes before California High Speed Rail. Partially because Brightline would be private. Brightline West, I believe, is privately funded, and allegedly they already have contracts or have secured the contracts with Siemens to produce the Vallejo train sets. Hello.
Yep.
Yes.
Keep
Yes,
talking.
Keep going.
Yeah. Old news, I didn't even see it in here, but Brightline released a press thing saying, hey guys, look at this new render, and it was like a very heavily Siemens branded Vallejo train set. It's like, oh, that, like, if that doesn't tell you something like the deal's already being negotiated or something like that, then, I genuinely believe Brightline West, which will be electrified, will be completed before California High Speed Rail.
I was hoping to
Yeah.
be central in like the next few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean,
In Wisconsin.
wait, Brightline West is supposed to be electrified?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, thank Christ.
Because
That-
it's going to be
that
entirely...
alleviates one of my gripes, but I still I talked about this in another server just last week. I still take issue with it in concept, but I'm glad it's going to be electric, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Entirely new right of way, completely dedicated to just Brightline West. I have no idea if they're gonna keep with the name Brightline West or if they're gonna change it to not, be so synonymous with Brightline itself. Time will tell.
It'll probably be like Brightline Vegas. Watch.
Yeah, or like it may be called its own thing,
Sexpress West.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So what happens on this
Um,
train to Vegas stays
on
this
this train to Vegas until
Yeah,
it goes
but-
to the wash.
What happens on the
speaking-
train to Vegas stays on the train to Vegas.
Of stuff staying on trains,
Okay.
nothing is staying on trains in Germany.
What does that mean?
The workers aren't staying on the
okay.
train.
Yeah.
It's like-
Most flights, trains, and any other sort of public transportation within Germany grinds to a halt as workers push for higher wages due to inflation, like most other places in the world. Germany, for a day, had a walkout and completely shut down economically because, if everything in the country, transportation-wise, stops working, suddenly people can't get to work. And when people can't get to work, they can't work their $10 an hour job.
It's how you force everyone else to go on strike with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like if
It's
there was
called leverage.
one, I don't know how to properly phrase it, but like industry that if it shut down, it shuts down everything else. It would have to be transportation.
That or like the electric company.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple industries that if you shut them down, it's a bad time. The electric company, the water company, basically any utility, actually.
I mean, to be fair, I think water is electricity and water very much depends on, because in the U.S. every other week we have a boil water warning somewhere, or
That's
we
being
have Flint,
generous.
Michigan somewhere.
That's
And every other week there's a boil water warning in Troy, New York specifically.
Yeah, so like those things have slightly less leverage than I think the transportation would. Because
This is
imagine if the New York
true.
subway stopped working for a day.
No, I feel like if the water stopped flowing, like that'd be a problem.
I also feel like if sure, the power goes out more often than like the trains stop running entirely, but like if the power goes out at work, you still don't go to work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you work at Waffle House.
Yeah.
In that
In which
case,
case,
Like
that's a normal day.
well,
yeah,
but
it's
most places have backup generators. That's the thing.
Well, not most places. I would like
yeah.
In
most
Florida.
most large
Okay.
important buildings, but
Most
Yeah.
places.
It also generally the places that tend to get prioritized when the power goes out is the higher paying customers, which are usually like businesses. Like a residential neighborhood loses power or whatever. A commercial sector loses power. We gotta get that back up ASAP.
okay. But what if going in a completely different direction here? What if all the chocolate factories in the world just exploded?
That would be
Early
really
in the
funny,
C4
except for when
factory.
2
Is that
people
anything?
die.
Oh, someone died in this? Oh, I feel bad joking about it now. But also, why did you take this? This has nothing to do with the disjointed, not topic
Because
you
I
already
like
have.
chocolate.
Your topic
Yeah.
is Speed Records Gobbles.
Okay, I'm sure one
yeah,
of those guys'
I'm-
limbs achieved the speed record.
Yeah. Oh, Christ.
Jesus Christ! Oh my god, dude!
Yeah.
Alright, we're moving on.
Climb
There's a
down
Coast
the
Starlight
line
play.
at record speed.
There's a Coast Starlight play.
Charlie and the C4 factory. Is that anything?
I like the second of silence before everyone started okay.
Nope, I'm revoking your news privileges. Tyler, your turn.
Give him a point.
The points don't effing do anything anymore. Nobody cares. But yes,
No,
here's
I'm
a point.
It was
He's
believed to be a
getting the
gas
point.
leak.
God.
And the reason why this relates to trains is because it blew up onto I believe, NS mainline.
And
Excellent.
NS getting Uno reverse carded.
Willy Wonka
and
is tired of your shit service.
and then Amtrak is doing the Co-Starlight. It's playing in theaters. 'Cause it's set on
That's not a thing
good
that
train.
Amtrak is doing.
No, it's a theater like production set on the Co-Starlight.
Yeah.
And Amtrak is bragging about it.
Yeah.
It's at the LC Theater in New York City from now until April 16th, so you still have about 2 weeks to go see it. I recommend going to see it. The LCT Theater is the Lincoln Center Theater. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's great. Train good, car bad. Anyway, speaking of train good.
Hey, wait a minute.
Alright.
Tyler, you're missing something.
What am I missing?
You're missing an article. Actually, you're
Oh,
missing a
God.
few articles if you're going over this stuff. We have so
Alright.
many 2926 articles. Why? Someone
Yeah.
out there really likes 2926 and keeps sending us 2926 articles.
Okay, let's see here. What is this
Yeah,
one really
Graham.
quick? 'Cause
Graham really likes
let me.
2926.
It probably is Graham.
Okay.
It's not
It
Graham.
wasn't Graham, actually, but...
All right,
you know.
that'll be easy to include.
Speaking of Graham, we also have more 557 articles.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Let me
Here it
just
goes again.
do this rapid fire of we are returning Steam to the mainline Mango Gopples.
Yes.
First up is 2926. We have like a bajillion articles on her because they've received funding to replace the 8th Street crossing. This is one of the crossings that they've kind of been having issues with. That will allow them to operate on a 2/3 of a mile spur to do further testing on the locomotive. You would think after having the engine up in steam for about 2 years, a year and a half at this point, I think, they'd be able to do more testing, but they've kind of been landlocked, which sucks.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple other good news bits here.
That's-
Society has also received written permission from the city to work on the rail yard and turntable facility. The old Albuquerque facilities, the Santa Fe roundhouse was demolished I forget how many decades ago. It was a while, but the turntable's still there. They actually got it fired up. It runs on compressed air, so they're looking at
It's convenient
potentially
that they're
using
redoing
that.
the compressor.
Ellis, are you gonna give him all of these?
I'm just chucking stuff. Anything that's relevant.
Okay.
Just here you go. You don't need to cover them all.
Yeah.
I'm just getting them out of the list. They'll be
There's a
there.
few- Be like, I can say 2 lines and I'll be done with
Yeah.
it. But 26 is a fair bit of stuff.
Yeah.
The group they're looking at trying to get the rail yards. That's kind of their bureaucratic nightmare thing. That, as well as getting permission to run on the state-sponsored line to Las Vegas, New Mexico. How that will work, they're still trying to figure out.
We're gonna have steam under wires, except it's 2926 under Brightline West.
So they're still fundraising for the tool car. They had a little bit of damage to the tool car, but it's pretty good. They're still working on that. That's their big project that will need to be done before they can go out and do stuff. So donate to that if you want. The big thing we got a lot of stuff on was the air compressor. They found one of the cross compounds was not acting as it should be during one of their more recent tests, and so they took it completely apart and rebuilt it. So they've got some interesting videos that I'd recommend watching.
Yeah, they have a lot of.
if you're
They
curious.
really chronicled that. I was very impressed by the amount
Yeah.
of detail they went into.
It was surprisingly well done, but you know, it's an air compressor, so it's an interesting piece of kit. 2100 over at our friends in Cleveland, they have continued the boiler ultrasound testing for the thickness because they've got all the tubes out of it. They can do more of that work. They've also painted the whole boiler barrel, good protection measure, as well as they've refurbished some of the rods and other components. They're still working on fundraising again. You know, you can find all
Always
these things if you wanna
fundraising.
donate.
More fundraising.
Yeah, always. Speaking of fundraising, 1744 at Niles Canyon Railway, the SP Mogul, they received $31,000 from the John H. Emery Rail
Wow.
Heritage Trust. Um, there is a list of all of the stuff from the trust, which is actually it's a very interesting list. There's a lot of stuff in here that's you've got Danbury got 12,000 for their RDC, the New Haven 35. 4449, the friends of them,
32.
they got money for the one of the RSP coaches. This year was kind of heavy on coaching
Mm-hmm.
stock, which is nice because it's kind of one of those things where it's a little bit underappreciated. I would say is you have to have items to, put the traveling public in because they pay
God,
to
there's
ride
so many
behind the
things
train.
in
They
this
don't
list.
pay. Yeah, they did 31 sets there. So there's donations to CNNW 175, donations to Mid-Continental for the sleeping car to Louvre, Nashville 576 they got money, NRM got money for Josephine, their wedding car. The 700 guys, again, in Portland, they got money for their blowdown valves. There's just a bunch of stuff in
They're
here.
actually doing some
Donation
work on
rate.
that. I'm surprised to
Yeah.
see 700 getting love. I'm surprised to see
Uh,
anything other than 4449 getting love in that shed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for me. It's surprising that they don't work on 197 more because
Yeah.
the two northerns are having issues with track conditions.
Being humongous.
On the runs that they do normally for like the Holiday Express, which is why they had to bring in Pulse and Logging too this winter season. If you remember, we've talked about it on the podcast previously, but 197 is just sitting in the corner, and it's a perfect size for what they want. And they're just slowly working on it. It's the only one
Please.
of the three there that has not run in preservation at all.
Bring it back.
I want that thing back so badly. Just come on, please, Portland, come on. The big one, I have a fair number of notes on this, is CN7260. It's the smallest of the bunch that we're going to talk about, but notable. This is a locomotive that's been out of the public eye for 3 decades now. It was in storage under the Museum of Industry before it's just got transferred to the Middleton Railway Museum in Nova Scotia. It is the oldest surviving locomotive built by the Canadian Locomotive Company in 1906 for the Intercolonial Railway of Canada. And at the time, the plans call for it, it's going to be cosmetically restored. Right now, it's being moved. You look at the photo, it's kind of bad because they cut half of the cab off.
I get the feeling this is not going to be running on the main line anytime soon.
Yeah, but it will be sitting with another CNR steam locomotive, number 1274, which was saved recently because the park it was in was closed, I guess, during the pandemic times. So it's nice to see
Gotcha.
stuff that
It's going somewhere that people can actually
was
see
kind
it.
of homeless or unloved, getting a new lease on life.
Unloved. I'm
Main
sure someone
Central,
loved it.
Yeah, the curators did, but then
I'm sure someone
They
loved
couldn't.
it.
Main Central 470, they
Awesome.
got
Good.
all of the flues and tubes removed, thanks to the guys at Main Locomotive and Machine Works,
The boys.
which is it's a great little step in the
Yes.
restoration. It's important because then they can do more of the thickness calculations and all that fun and joy. Check all the tubes and flues and
The gamers at one main locomotive machine.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're a
we
bunch
love
of cool
these guys.
people. Unfortunately, they did not want me to make them 2-foot trading cards, but it's okay. I forgive them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring
Okay.
in all the parts by 2-foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The proud new
So-
owners of Edaville.
Yeah. They do own Edaville, which is interesting for
Which is cool
There.
and base actually.
Yeah.
I mean
yeah.
the 2-foot commune gross.
Yes.
Um,
What on this list have you not discussed yet? I mean, 557 is doing tube
Yeah.
sheet things.
557 is so the one that you just put in my list. That is they reconditioned the tube sheet, which I thought we covered earlier in the podcast, the previous one, but we haven't apparently. So tube sheet, for those who don't know rail terminology,
That's where
it's
the
the front
tubes.
sheet in the boiler where essentially you slide the tubes in and then you roll them over. You don't weld them. You roll them over, and so it kind of holds them in the place
Hmm.
because it's gonna try to expand. Fun little physics of gases. Uh, but the big thing is that they actually got the tubes in and have rolled a fair number of them, which is great because that means that the boiler is basically just almost in the final stages of being put back together. Which I don't know their exact timeline for when they want to get this thing running. They wanted to get it out a few years ago was their target date, but any progress is good progress.
Yeah, I feel like they've
And
been
then,
talking about restoring that engine since I was little. That's always one of the ones that I heard about. Oh, it's 577.
yeah,
It's in Alaska. They're restoring this locomotive in Alaska. Isn't that cool? The Alaska Railroad's gonna run it. I must have been like
Yeah.
in elementary school, and it's still going.
mhm,
One day.
Yeah, any day now.
yeah,
What's done
and then
first? The T1 Trust or this?
I think they're
yeah,
just gonna get so far along with this that they'll have to start redoing the bits that they've already done. It'll just be a never-ending cycle.
It's gonna expire.
Actually,
It's like
well, no, they're working on the boiler last.
it's like Tyler with a cookie.
it's like when a webcomic. Actually, no, that's a better example. That's something more people will get, I think.
Well,
than
actually,
obscure webcomic garbage.
I just wanted to say that you described where the tube sheet was. Notably, the tube sheet is where everything in front of that is complete. No? Okay.
Yeah, going back to that.
Yeah, coming back to that. Yeah, no, I love
Okay.
callback jokes. Too much, actually. Right.
So the other thing that I have noted here before we start getting into the stuff that I didn't work on before the podcast.
I mean, you can just like
yeah.
if you've mentioned a locomotive before, you don't have to mention it again.
So RHF, again, these people, 44, 49, 700, not 197, now minus a Alco. They put the turntable in the pit.
Wow.
It's a fucking miracle. They understand this.
At least
thing.
they didn't put the engine in the pit.
Yeah, but
Gobbles.
it's nice to finally see this because they've been talking about this since like when I went to visit it and I was like a wee little kid. There's like a photo of me against 197's driver, and it's
Maybe.
What'll be done
Uh,
first? 557 or the
Tyler.
yeah, or the roundhouse at the Rare Museum of Pennsylvania, which is what this is making me think of.
yeah, that one.
There's a T1
Not gonna
reading the
update on
team
that in a
speed record.
while. Anyhow, so yeah, they have the turntable in the pit. They're working on getting it all hooked up, and then hopefully soon enough they can start bringing stuff out like they've been doing in promotional material. Let's see here.
Wouldn't it be really funny? This is not completely off topic. It's about the T1. I finished Tyler. Never mind.
Okay. It's looking
I'm not-
here.
I'm not- I
Dave.
don't-
Are you
I'm
walking?
talking
Where are
about
you
it.
going?
I'm gonna go get dinner because the cafeteria closes in 30
Okay.
minutes. Leave this long.
Okay, so the tender frame as well has gotten some work on 470.
Mm-hmm.
They're using Downey Scenics 1055 to double check. But yep, they've done work there. 4985, the big Challenger, they've started taking that apart. Hopefully
Silvis
that
with
will
their
be
new
back.
acquisitions,
Yeah,
all their new toys in Silvis.
again,
Yeah.
literally the model railroad, but somebody made it real.
At
The model
O'Gilly's,
railroad
they're
UP
selling
decided.
they're selling Challengers in Cheyenne for $224 with DCC and sound.
Yeah. Silvis won the raffle for Rivet Counter UP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about right. So yeah, they're starting to tear her apart, and they're gonna find a lot of issues probably, but they know of a lot of issues, so we'll see. Again, there's a
Right,
reason
and
why
the
it's
thing.
a big price tag on the
Yep.
restoration of that engine.
Remember when we
But
were
they
just
got-
like they ruined it by leaving it out in the rain? Remember that was the big thing.
a little bit of that, but they just ran her ragged.
Yeah.
She needs a lot of love. Speaking of one that's already gotten a lot of love, though, Nashville 576. Those guys, they've been doing great work here. Actually, I do recommend you go check out their YouTube channel. It's very interesting stuff there. They got they're starting a new campaign for funding for the last set of. They need to raise $350,000. They have $100,000 in matching funds from the Walter Ferguson Charitable Trust, $75,000 for the Right Track Foundation.
You're being so soothing. You sound like an NPR, announcer or a news anchor.
Thank you.
Is someone sleeping next to you?
No. It's getting late. So the quote here, barring any unforeseen issues, we anticipate reassembly throughout the year and important testing to begin later in 2024 or early 2025. That milestone won't be historic just for us in Nashville, but it will be the first time since 1952 that a steam locomotive from the NCSTL will have operated. The goal, of course, is to be a great little piece in Nashville history as well as the tourist industry, but, big choo-choo, go on mainline, please.
Yes. What is the NCSTL, does that have a, abbreviation for that railroad name? Or is it, because it's one of the, it's a mouthful. I just can't imagine that they didn't call it something like the Nickel Plate Road or, whatever. No,
Chattanooga choo-choo.
Yeah, okay, yeah, there you go. I guess it became the L and N, which...
Yeah, well, that was after Steam Era,
yeah.
So...
That's a more brief name, I suppose.
Yeah. And then, this little thing, Frenzy SPS 700, they're working on their piston valves, which, that engine, again, they got more funding, they're getting some love, it's nice. I think that's it.
Alright. Oh, did you talk about 2100? Good old Reading 2100?
Yeah,
another T1 in service? Guess what? We heard it from the man himself. Gotta cover this incredibly important news before we wrap up here. We're gonna get Freedom Train 2. He's doing it. Ross Rowland is back.
He's trying.
He's trying.
We'll see.
Listen. I don't care if this works or not. I have no would it be cool? Yeah, sure, probably. I don't even care about that. I care about here we go again with this ridiculousness. Ross Rowland's back in the spotlight, and you know what? Just to air my thought here, which is that Ross Rowland, for all his positives and all his negatives, I think he's King Foamer. I don't have any other way to describe him. I think he's just King Foamer. So where did I lost the article? It's in here somewhere. Oh yeah, it's labeled AFT2 ? So yeah, you can see his forum post, because again, this isn't like it's trickling through the grapevine. It's like all this T-1 talk has gotten him excited for doing Freedom Train again, and he was posting on train orders, like, I'm gonna do it.
You see, I see one problem with this plan.
I don't see any problem with this plan.
The only problem is that the tracks down Veterans Way in Tempe have been torn up and turned into the light rail, and so we're gonna need to run it on the light rail.
I see no problem with this plan. Absolutely no. If those tracks can't handle the freedom of American Freedom Train 2, nah, they gotta. Anyway,
You know what we need to have to control the Freedom Train?
what?
The biggest and baddest American steam engine. Rebuild the Q2.
I thought you were gonna say Daniel Nason.
Oh no!
I was expecting Daniel Nason.
That's what Ross should do. Is he should try to get some investors to put
Yeah.
the like 8 million left that's needed for the T1 and get that built in time.
Yeah, no, honestly though, American Freedom
Can't
Train 2
wait.
hauled by T1 dunking on speed records because suck it, Mallard.
Ross
be
Roland
hilarious.
would.
He
Like,
would. He 100% would.
He would break every mainline speed limit and put the T1 on the ground trying to get that thing up past the speed record.
That's why I think he's King Foamer, because it's just he's just, I'm gonna do and say whatever the hell I want. That's Ross Roland. Like, beyond anything that, like, the other, dare I say, more cultured and more reasonable,
Yeah.
Steam collectors of old have done. Yeah, no. Yeah. Anyway, we gotta do earliest train. Agility's still here? He's been muted for like an hour.
Achilles.
We gotta do
can't
earliest train.
Oh my god,
Amtrak.
I've been muted for the last hour.
You've been muted for a long
You've
time.
been muted for the last hour, but you've been muted for like half of Tyler's Steam talk.
Oh my god, I've been talking. I've been here the whole time.
Oh my god.
I know that feeling.
I have been here the entire time.
I was really wondering why I was like the only one chiming in on Tyler's stuff. I was like, oh, this is getting monotonous. We need to spice this up a little bit.
I
been
did
here
not
the
have anything
whole
interesting
time.
to say.
Oh my god.
I have located the earliest train on Amtrak.
Okay, I'm glad you have. Hang on to that for a second. Need to do some maintenance away. The maintenance away is, between this episode and next episode, I will probably be effectively abolishing the engineer fireman role in the Discord server and for this podcast. And it'll be a sort of based on priority as terms of who's been on most recently of just the entire slate of horsemen, because it's hard to get the right people in the same room together. So I'm expanding the cast for like the third or fourth time to encapsulate more people so that we can actually make this show.
I'm no longer a host after today.
Yeah, well, you are, but like everybody is. You're just less special.
When everyone's super,
Now you're just
no
not
one's
blue.
super.
Yeah. They will not
Yeah, now
be
you're
blue, dabba dee dabba die. The blue will probably be reserved for, we'll get rid of the magenta color, and it'll just be blue for when someone gets on the podcast.
Oh, I would prefer that greatly. I like the blue more than the magenta.
Well, yeah, so does everyone. That's why the blue is a standard color on the server, and the magenta is just for one person sometimes.
Yeah.
But also, as I mentioned, the mantle of responsibility will be changing, such that we will decide on a best rec, or worst rec, I guess. And CPKC will be on the board instead of CP and KCS. That's really it. I mean, I sort of covered all the changes. I will be introducing everyone as horseman and then a brakeman instead of engineer, fireman, and brakeman. So, yeah. The major format of the podcast won't change, but I'd like to, if we're spending more time in the mantle, I'd like to also have another set of videos, again, more like a Sunday driving, where we can do more just like chit chat, stuff that isn't so guided and whatever.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that though, so it's not really a big change. I've wanted to get back to that kind of video format because it's just an excuse for me to hang out with the people that I never get the chance to hang out with.
Yes.
Anyway, there was one more thing that I wanted to say, but I forget what it is. It's not important. Oh, right. The intro will probably be changed, but not changed, like, fundamentally. It might be shortened up a little bit. The names will be taken out, whatever. I might have the original file around here somewhere, but I have a lot of the files, and TJ volunteered to put together a new intro. Anyway. So, as far as earliest train on Amtrak, I think...
I have a question.
What?
I have one question before we get.
What's that?
Was the earliest train on Amtrak that you found at the beginning of this podcast still on the system?
Yes.
Is it still the earliest train?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Shoot.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go with... Oh man, that's actually a tough one because it means that it had to have been on for at least a couple hours, so it's not like one of the shorty services.
Via
Yeah.
Rail Canadian.
Yeah, that's it. Nailed it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with the. Oh man, because I don't know. Because it would have to be in between. Does anyone else have a thought? Because I don't have a thought. I'm not.
I have my guess. I'm gonna
I
guess
have
the northbound auto train.
I'm gonna say the southbound auto train just for the memes here.
Wolverine to Pontiac.
So East said
We have the North and South Auto Train, Wolverine to Pontiac, and I guess I'm the last one. I'm just gonna go with the generic. I'm gonna, because we sort of guessed the directions as a monolithic block. I'm gonna say a. No, because it's tripping me up. It's tripping me up. Just the way that it does early stuff. Whatever. I'll say northbound regional.
Okay, so East picked the latest train of anybody. The northbound auto train is 1 hour and 23 minutes. Left Sanford, 1 hour and 23 minutes late. But I like your line of thinking.
Yeah, that's not a bad guess.
The Wolverine to Pontiac is 55 minutes late at Battle Creek, Michigan. Ellis had the second earliest train on Amtrak with a northbound Boston Regional at 8 minutes early into Boston.
Nice.
And the earliest train on Amtrak is the southbound auto train, which left
Let's go.
Stanford, Virginia 16 minutes early.
Wow.
I want meme.
I was figuring.
That's not the
Oh, there's
earliest
no
train
way.
on Amtrak.
I was figuring there's no way those trains are going to leave early. It's only
No.
trains that are accumulating time. And
Phillies.
oh man,
It is.
That's not the earliest train on Amtrak. The Silver Star to New York is 17 minutes early at Jackson.
Oh no!
How is it still
You
this
didn't get it right either.
No, I missed it. It was. Where is it? The Silver Star.
it's at Jacksonville. Jacksonville,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It just updated.
Yeah.
Just updated.
That's the issue
Like-
with the earliest train because it doesn't. Oh man, because of the way the Amtracker handles early trains, that is such a hard guess. And because of the fact that
Oh, yeah,
Amtrak
it's-
is not
Nobody
going
was right then.
to.
It was the northbound Silver Star.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
not going to dig
no,
into it
okay.
right now. We need to wrap up.
Sorry, East, you weren't right. You were close.
No, I find it funny that both the Silver Star, I couldn't get the Silver Star because it only rides on passenger corridors. Like
By
all
the way,
up.
the eastbound Canadian is the latest Canadian is 1 hour late. So that,
Yeah,
that
they
would not
fixed-
have been a bad guess.
They fixed something a while ago, and it's been not 24 hours late in a long
Well,
time.
you just put a lot.
Well,
of
yeah,
fat,
did
I
they
would
just?
assume.
Yeah, I was about to say, did they just have like 30 hours of padding?
I don't know,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's what they
I'm
did.
salty.
But
I'm salty because the Blue Water actually would have been a good guess because that's 4 minutes early. I figured, like, Wolverine Corridor, the Wolverine to Pontiac is probably doing okay. I was wrong. I got
And
Okay, so
for
my-
the record, the latest train on Amtrak is
I was about to say, what's the latest? Is it the eastbound
I didn't-
builder?
It is not the eastbound builder. Oh, it is the
No.
eastbound
Yeah, it
builder.
is.
It is the eastbound builder.
6
Damn,
hours.
I
and
got
8
it. I
minutes.
got one for two. Let's go. Well, at least I got the
Well,
train.
it's probably this random one will end up being this random one stuck in North Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
It's
wouldn't it be the
tough.
westbound builder because the westbound builder is 6 hours late.
Oh, it is the westbound builder, not the eastbound.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And
Misspoke.
both times I got the train right, but the direction wrong.
Oh, and yeah, the long distance services are having a bad night.
All right,
Yeah.
take a guess. What's the latest regional train on Amtrak?
No, let's not. Let's
Let's
wrap
get
the
it.
show up.
Oh,
East, what is your
Also,
termination?
Avalia. That's a good question. Oh yeah, T1's gonna beat the speed record on Brightline.
All right,
All right. Let me type that in.
I already got
Thank
it.
you.
And Tyler, what is your
Yeah.
what is this? What the hell is this?
it's so good.
Okay, but now
What
we
is
need to
that?
make a backronym for Hot Wheels. That's not
Come on, I have a-
helpful.
Oh my god. What did you do, Tyler?
Tyler, the Hot Wheels Act to save our nation is what he
I'll
said.
send it to you right now.
Oh, Julius.
It's great.
What is
Oh, I should have gone with the cum
What is
dumpster.
this?
Oh well.
Oh, Julius, this
That's-
is adorable.
Check your DMs.
I love it.
the
I love it.
coffins.
Oh, it's a coffin.
Wait, is
Oops.
it a
It's
is
a-
it a
it's a
Vader
Darth
signal?
Vader. Yeah, it's a
it's
coffin feed water
No, it's-
heater on, what is this, a Mikado?
Yeah, it's an XDNSL Mikado.
Oh, I can't
I
believe
love it.
That's nice.
I love this. What? Yes, Tim, I love it.
And then I would like to respond to something that was said very early on in the show, and I didn't get to like voice my thought about it, which was, yeah, the PRR might be the most overrated railroad, but it's sort of an order of magnitude thing where it's like, it's already at the top of the list. People just think it's way above the top of the list. It's S tier. They're putting it in S plus. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Shut up. I'm not taking comments on this.
I love this totally normal EMDFT. The T stands for truck.
Oh, I thought it was gonna stand for tiny.
That's better, actually.
Oh my
I
God.
officially think when I make if I ever commission Jader to rebuild a Mountain Pacific steam locomotive for me, I'm gonna give it a elephant ears and a coffin feed water heater.
That's something. Alright, listen, I need to go and get Gloria food before they literally kill me.
Yeah,
Because I was like, I need to go make the
I want
podcast
to-
really quick before we go eat.
yeah, quick. And then you got the four
At-
foamers.
At 6:30.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh,
How would that
Is that
happen?
4-hour podcast?
no, but it's 4 hours from setup to teardown like it effing always is.
Oops, how'd that happen?
Anyway, we'll see you guys in a couple weeks with maybe a new intro and maybe, I don't know, some things will change. A new railroad, anyway.
Yeah.
Bye.
Call Conrail.
see ya,
at-
Oh yeah, in case of an
Mama.
emergency, call Conrail. Thanks to everyone, including Stephen West, but not this time because we did O'Jilly's bad idea. Bye.